This episode is brought to you by biocell RX. biocell RX is an amazing company that makes some of the best CBD I have ever tried. I've been personally using this product for over 3 months, and it does not disappoint. I don't go anywhere without it. When traveling, it's really hard to get to sleep, especially when I'm swapping time zones and going to different places, sleeping in hotels and not in my own bed. CBD helps me get a good night rest so that I can wake up feeling refreshed, ready to coach, ready to teach, or ready to compete. Whatever it is, I take my CBD with me. My CBD is my partner in crime, my partner in travel. BioCell is one of the products that if it's not in my backpack, I'm not leaving the house. You guys are definitely going to want to head over to biocellrx.com and pick up a bottle of your own. The cool thing about BioCell is they offer CBD at an incredibly highly concentrated formula. With over 6,000 milligrams per bottle, you can get one bottle and hold on to it for a long time. The typical dose for CBD is around 30 milligrams, so you do the math. One bottle will last you a very long time. You don't have to deal with constantly ordering new products and waiting for it to arrive and maybe running out, all of the nonsense. Use code PLAYTHEGAME and get $25 off at checkout. All right, everybody.
This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram at Lone Wolf PB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community. Today's episode of PTG is brought to you by the one and only Trans Labs that brought the world two amazing products. First off, Transfuse, which is a hydration multiplier, and most recently they just dropped Transcend, which is a nootropic energy formula. No matter what you use, when you choose Trans Labs, you are going to be boosted and you are going to be ready to charge the paintball field and win out there. With Transfuse, that is a premium rapid hydration multiplier and immunity fortifying formula scientifically designed to replenish you at the cellular level. And they use all natural ingredients in this product. We've got zinc, we've got vitamin B6, we've got vitamin C, sodium, potassium, choline, and it is an amazing way to make sure that you're hydrated and prepared to play top-level paintball. When it comes to Transcend, that is a premium nootropic energy formula designed to increase cognitive performance, elevate mood and clarity while supporting long-term brain health, and it's going to leave you feeling great with no crash or jitters. It's one of the only products in the nootropic space backed by research studies to ensure the formula is correct for optimal performance. It is more potent than anything on the market, and it will keep you charged and ready to win out there. I take 1 scoop, but if you're stimulant sensitive, take a half scoop, and if you want that LFG dose to launch to the moon, dump 2 scoops in your drink and you are going to be flying down that paintball field. Comes in 2 delicious flavors, Baja Blast and Skittles Candy for the Transcend. And for the Transfuse, they have 2 new flavors as well, Pineapple Express and Hawaiian Punched. So if you get a chance, head over to translabs.com. That's TRANZLABS.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME and you'll get 10% off. If you subscribe to a monthly delivery service, you also get 10% off as well. So you can take advantage of 20% off on these products. Head over to translabs.com and give it a go.
PTG Nation, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This episode, we have Patrick Kraft Jr., the legendary young phenom. He's not so young anymore. He is 29 years old now, but he's still young in the game and an absolute stud on the field. He's coming off probably the best performance of his career at the Sunshine State Open, and his team, New York Xtreme, had their best showing that they've had as a professional organization. It's really fun to watch them, see all their creativity and how they played the field. Got a lot of great insight from Pat as to, what changes led them to this phenomenal appearance at the event and what they're doing to stay working hard behind the scenes and what the goals are for the rest of the year. So without further ado, we're going to hop in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys, though. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
Yes, sir. Play the Game podcast world. Let's go.
We got him.
We got Patrick Kraft Jr. from New York Xtreme on the show. PK, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for being here. What's going on?
Nothing much. Another cold day in New York. Actually, the weather's actually finally breaking now, so we're looking good on this side. It's a beautiful day, man. Just loving the process.
Yes, sir. So what is like breaking the weather out there on the East Coast? Let the people know what the weather is outside right now.
It's like 40s and sunny, and it's beautiful. It's like
Yes,
like
sir.
the first day of summer out here.
Heck yeah.
That's freezing, bro. That is absolutely freezing.
To us, it's like,
like
grab your guns and run to the field. Is the best it's gonna get.
Oh
Heck
man,
yeah.
dude. Yeah, we were just in Vegas over the weekend. I was working with the Vegas Golden Misfits, and it was sunny, first day, but it was like in the 40s and even in the 50s. I'm like, this is too cold. It's freezing. Then Sunday it was cloudy, so the temperature feels, it was still like in the low 50s, high 40s, but it feels like it's like 30 degrees, no sun. I don't know how you guys do it, man. You guys are built different over there. I need the sun. I need the sun.
I need it too, man. Trust me, I need it too. My girl's always like, "Why do we live here?" But that's just how I was born and raised here, man. Probably ain't gonna leave either.
Shout out to the East Coast one time. I love it out there. And, California has been getting some weather too recently. It's been a whole different world on the West Coast too as of like the last year or two. It's been kind of crazy.
It was pouring rain and freezing all day today.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been wild.
Freezing. Like
It's
58
32
degrees, dude.
Bro, I swear, the day I got back, it was 1.5 foot of snow, and we lost power for 2 days.
No.
The day I got back from the tournament, yeah.
Damn.
That's because you brought all that energy with you. You sucked it all out of New York and brought it to Florida. Out there on the field, he came back and they're like, "Ugh, all right, we're dead for a couple days. Power out."
Straight up. Got some sleep.
Yeah, man.
It was nice.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hop right into it. Obviously, New York had an amazing event out there for event number 1 of 2023 NXL, and it was great to see you and the squad having so much fun. Like Marcelo said, the energy was bumping, and you could tell that the frequencies were right. You guys were playing great ball. How did that feel? And kind of walk us through what it was like out there at event number 1 for you guys.
Well, first off, I want to just say, like, I've seen these interviews go terribly and age terribly. Like, so anything I say, I just feel good about this tournament, and I know it's hard work and nothing but hard work for the next events too. So, but it felt really good to get out there and play, team paintball, and that's what this layout called for, man. It was nothing but team paintball, high IQ, a lot of good conversations that led to good points or good moves. The vibes on the team right now, they're impeccable, man. I mean, we're just really working hard, and that's what everyone saw. I mean, yeah, we bring energy and we're hyped, but we're working behind the scenes, and it's given us a lot of confidence. And just, when hard work meets preparation and then, you execute, that's what happened this past weekend. And it felt really good. And like I said, we're going to be humble about it, and we're just going to keep working, and we're just going to get better as a team. But it was a good start for the team, and I'm super happy with our performance. And I couldn't be more proud of the guys, everyone from top to bottom.
Yeah, 100%, man. You guys looked really good. I mean, as far as the hard work goes, I feel like in years past, you guys worked really hard. I mean, we practice you guys often. You guys would fly out to California, and anytime we would be there, you guys were already there, doing drills and putting in work. So can't just be that, you know what I mean? Like what else do you think it was that was an extra little touch? Personally, I feel like you guys were playing this field really well from day one. From when we practiced you guys on Thursday, you guys were utilizing the spot you were going to, the brick, that wedge on the Dorito side, a lot more than any other teams. And I thought that was actually like really wise and a really good play. I was like pushing our team to try to go that direction a little bit more. What do you think was the difference?
Honestly, we had a really good practice. Obviously, there's only one layout weekend now, so Saturday was huge. We played Revo, Russian Legion, and ML Kings, And we found success going up the field. Like we were like, obviously like, hey, let's just try things. Like, let's just get moving up the field. Let's see what happens. And we saw like instant progress with when we took the 50s or when we took those 40s, it just made things difficult. We were getting kills out of those spots and we just made it. We saw a trend, right? We were like, all right, well, if we go to here, we're winning points. If we're not going here, we're not winning points. The object is to win. And that's kind of what we saw. And we were like, all right, well, let's do this. And it wasn't always good. Saturday, we won a ton of points. Everyone adapted, came out Sunday and kind of put a beating on us. And we weren't feeling really confident after Sunday. I could tell all the guys, like, you're
talking about in practice, right?
Yeah, in practice on Sunday, I mean, like following the Saturday, we had a good day. Sunday, we had like a kind of rougher day, and I could tell everyone's confidence was kind of down. I was like, "Yo, guys, like we got another day on the layout. We're fine. Like let's just stick to our game plan." We weren't going to the 50s on Sunday, so I was like, "Yo, we just got to go to our spots and hit our shots and just play team paintball." So,
yeah, and it was a difficult field for a lot of teams to figure out. You know, totally. And if you weren't in, like you said, those particular spots, it was not advantageous for you, let's just say.
100%. Because like I mean that NYX or that D side can got 88'd, like pinched OD. The bounce shot into the back center on Sunday was terrible. Like you had to be outside if you or up the middle of the field. It didn't matter in what facet, but I mean obviously there was better spots than but you had to be outside.
What was it that made you decide you wanted to be that guy to go up there and attack? That typically in the past hasn't been your role. You've been more of a 2, kind of a follow-up player. What about that was like, this is going to be my job?
I'm just trying to do whatever the team needs, if I'm being honest. Like whatever we need. If I feel like I can play any spot. I feel like the league has only seen me play the back roles. I can play the front roles. That's the home.
Don't motor dump on anybody.
Man, like I feel like I can play any spot. I feel like people haven't seen my versatility. And honestly, going into the last World Cup, I tried to play the center. I got shut down a little bit by damage on Sunday. But this event, I was like, I want to go back out there and prove that I can't be stopped. And I know it's not a normal position that I typically play, but I feel like I can play any position. It's paintball, man. And I want to prove that to the whole league. And I'm serious about it. And I'm gonna just outwork people, and I'm just gonna get it done. There's not gonna be any excuses this year. So
I love that, man. I love the way that you worded that and the intention that you've set for yourself, because that's so true. On a paintball field, you got to be ready and willing and able and open to the idea of going anywhere. Not just as a player, if obviously if you lose a player on a certain side, you got to fill those roles, but that also sets a precedence within the organization and really starts to mold a really powerful team. When the organization feels like, wow, I could put my player literally anywhere. Any of these guys can go anywhere. And I feel like depending on which bats are hot, we'll get whatever I need the production. I got it because I got so many options. And if you can get, you and your guys thinking that way and playing that way, it's going to be a huge shift for the team. Obviously, I mean, let's not beat around the bush. One of the most iconic players to ever put on the New York jersey wasn't with you guys at the last tournament. My dude Hussein, and he is such a spark plug, right? So you guys had to figure out how to fill those roles as well. And you did it perfectly. You guys all came together and played great team paintball. So what was it like not having Harris out there?
Well, it's been 8 years I've played with Harris. This is my 9th season with New York Xtreme, and it's my first year without him. First off, I love Harris, man. As a human being, he's one of my favorites. He's one of the most charismatic. When he walks in every room, he puts a smile on everybody's face. He's, it's nothing but laughs. Like he's just a good dude, and he'd honestly give the shirt off his back to, anybody. That being said, him as a teammate is a whole different person. And I hate to say it, but like, I feel like, it's only been one event, without him. But I feel like he kind of deterred us from our goal in certain ways, in the past. And without that presence or without those deterrents, and we can all be focused and just mindful of the goal that we've set as a squad, and just lock in and then just try to execute. Because like, listen, it's not gonna always be sunshine and rainbows, stuff's gonna happen. But if we can just put our best foot forward every single time, and I think that's what we can do. And like I said, I love Harris, but just as a teammate, it wasn't working,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've had this conversation with Harris before as well, is there had been many times and points in different matches and events and seasons where I've been like, damn, Harris is the spark plug. And, Harris did go out and like kind of will the team to a victory there. But there comes a point where it's time to move on from those antics and take the next step. That there does come a point to where those antics become a distraction to an organization. And you have to be able to recognize when that might be, right? It might have been right in some points, but it wasn't continuing the growth of the team any longer from an outside perspective, at least, right? Because again, you guys are incredibly talented, work very hard, have a great coach in Rich. There's no reason that New York Xtreme isn't doing exactly what you guys just did. At least, consistently being a Sunday threat, right?
Yeah.
And you can't put the blame all on one person. You never can anyway, right? So again, it was just one event. And, I'm actually very excited to see Harris have a real opportunity with the Russians. It was a bummer he didn't get much play time. It was really funny. I forgot who they were playing, but it was I think it was their last match, and they had just lost, I think, the first 2 points. And then he finally got a point and they won. And he's like going along the sidelines, doing his thing. And I'm like, oh man. And then I think they sat him the next point, and I'm like, oh, Harris, just like go in and they did lose the next point when they sat him, so
I saw that.
Yeah. I'm like, just buckle down and do the work, right? Leave that personality for like after the game and when it's time to lighten up, and when it's time to relax. But know what it means to put those goggles on, know what it means to put the jersey on,
Facts.
and tap into like that actual component of yourself. I think if he did that, he could be really good. He has a lot of great attributes. He really does. Like I've always said that he finds ways to get the job done. May not always look super pretty. And in those super extra tight dye Russian Legion pants, I don't know that it's looking any prettier than it did on NYX. But my man's got game. He's got game. He doesn't wear New Balances, so he's a step behind in the fashion. But that's okay. That's okay. We can forgive him over there.
Dude, I love him. I love him so much.
I do too, man.
Don't ever stop. That's my personal opinion. Dude, just keep going, baby. And I can't wait to see the Russians, have some more growth, because it's a completely new monster that they're nurturing there, So it'll be good to see them. And shout out to the new guys. They played really well, for being their first pro tournament, getting thrown into the fire. Obviously, you're not going to have, like you said, it's not all going to be like sunshine every point, but they had some moments where I was like, okay, there's some moments. You want to see those moments, and they were having a couple of them, and that's what you're looking for, to be able to grow that and nurture those types of things. But it's going to be really fun to watch, the remainder of the season roll out here. We're going to Texas in just a matter of weeks. It's just a few weeks out before we'll get the layout. And we'll see what kind of new fun they'll have rolling our way on this next one.
Oh yeah. One thing I do want to say about my boy Harris is that the reason why I feel like we all care for him and we're all so hard on him is because we know that he can be one of the best if he puts his mind to it.
For sure.
And it's just like, that's your boys talking to you from like our hearts, and so that's the only advice I got for him. And I want to see him succeed this year. We're in the stands, we're in the VIP. I think we're his biggest fans, honestly. We're screaming anytime we get to rep out there, we're screaming. We're happy to see him playing,
100%, dude. Yeah, a lot of love for Harris. And you're right. He's one of those individuals where anytime he walks into a room, he really does put a smile on everyone's face. I love when the guys around, love shooting the shit with them. It's always a good time. But again, like there's, in sports, like you have to tap into something a little different when you're on the field, period.
Straight up.
Off the field, I'm a different person than I am on the field. If I wasn't, then I wouldn't even want to play paintball. I wouldn't want to be competitive in that sense, in the way that you need to be in the sport. It's like really conflicting kind of moral things, and sports are good for that. It's a good space for you to kind of, relieve certain pressures and utilize in the right way, but you have to know when to turn certain things on and off. Period. I do think that any, great athlete would say a similar thing.
Straight up.
PK, have you guys seen your brackets for the next event?
Oh, yes, sir. Obviously.
Ooh, you got the Bears, you got the Kings, Level, and the Ironmen.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling about the Bears? Look at them coming from your area, from your neck of the woods out there doing big things.
Yeah, they're playing good, man. I mean, we've played them all semi-pro. It's been actually, I don't think we ever beat them in semi-pro. Actually,
Really?
matter of fact, yeah, I don't think we ever beat them. I think, yeah.
They
So
have a solid camp.
they do, and that's like the old ECE guys. They've been playing for a long time together.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude,
yeah,
legends.
Yeah.
Shooting Mobilizer. Half of them shoot Mobilizer still to this day.
Joey, Ricky, Robbie,
Yo,
Frankie.
yo. Yeah, those dudes were our rivals on when Mouse and myself played on Aftermath back in like 2005. Division 3 X Ball, ECE. Every event was like we would see them either in the top 4 or in the finals. We knew that we were going through them or they were trying to go through us on Sunday.
What
Didn't have
what
much
year,
success that season, but
what year was that?
2005.
Damn, I wasn't even playing then, bro. That's crazy. And you guys were in finals together. That's dope. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. What year did you start playing? I forgot. I know we talked about it.
2000, like probably 2009. First time I picked up gun, probably 2008.
That's awesome.
Damn.
Yeah.
You haven't been playing that long. In the grand scheme of things, yeah.
No, I've only been playing pro for 4 years, so I mean,
dude,
that's
awesome,
a trip,
dude. You're crushing it. Just keep like the work ethic. That's what it's all about, man. Obviously, and like Marcelo hit on earlier too. It's like it's one thing to work really hard physically, but it's a whole nother thing, and equally, if not more important, to work hard mentally on this game and to understand how to play the game. Shout out to the podcast. Like how to play the actual freaking game, which is so difficult, knowing when to do things, how to do things, when to call things, when not to call things, which way to look, all these different spider senses that you pick up over the years. That is really the most difficult aspect of paintball. And to be able to, we're watching you mature through the years as you've been playing pro, and to watch you put the puzzle pieces together and start to like pick it apart. That's fun as not only a competitor, but like a fan of the game to watch, which is amazing to see. And it's a really difficult task, as you well know. So how have you been able to like navigate, obviously you work out really hard, you work hard physically, but navigating, getting better at the mental aspect of paintball?
So actually, it's funny you say that because this year I've like took the physical stuff and the diet to like the next level, which I wasn't doing as much in the past, but mentally is where I really found my growth this off season. I hit up a lot of like the greatest players in the game, asked them for tips. Actually, Ryan told me this year that I really had to work on like my leadership and just how I get the best out of my guys around me. And I feel like when you're a leader or you're trying to be a leader for your squad, you gotta look internally right away. And hey, listen, we were talking not bad about Harris, but how he has bad habits. Like I have some bad habits too, and that's really where it starts is
we all do, dude.
Yeah. Looking yourself in the mirror and just being better for the guys around you. And that's where I took it this year. I mean, I'm trying to be the best teammate I can. I mean, obviously I popped off a little bit after the damage game at my mouth, trying to make eggs in their kitchen. They got upset about that, but
wait. Hold on. What happened? I didn't see this.
It's like
what did you say?
Some Bunker King video. They got mad because listen, they don't have any respect for us, and I can feel it. So It's like when I play you, and you knocked me out of World Cup. When I play you, I have a chip on my shoulder. That's just New York sports. Where like it's almost like you're talking trash. Now I just want to beat you even more. So, and then I got mad after the game and I was like just saying stupid stuff into the camera. I was like, I'm in your kitchen. I'm making eggs in your favorite pan. And they weren't a fan of it. Like
making eggs in your favorite pan.
Nothing personal. Nothing personal.
Hold on. I need to find this video right now. So it's on the Bunker King's Instagram.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a great one.
Yeah.
That's good entertainment. When you're talking about sports, at the end of the day, sports is entertainment. We're out there entertaining people. Obviously, we see it in a completely different way, and we're out there fighting for our lives, trying to win tournaments, trying to boost our teammates, be the best teammates we can be, think about all the different possibilities going on. There's a lot going on when we're in these events, but the people watching the damn thing, they want the entertainment.
I might have found it. Is this it, Pat?
And we got it right here. We got Pat Kraft.
No, that's not it.
That's just another one. That's just another one.
I can show you. I can send it to you.
Pick one.
Okay. Yeah. Send it.
All right, Pat.
Send it. We're playing it.
I got a
Yeah.
lot. I got a lot of heat for it, and I was just, listen. I was just
He
trying
said,
to.
"Pick one, pick one."
I was just being myself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I think I see it. This is it.
Yeah, you got
we
it. Yeah,
got-
there it is.
I
There
got
it is.
it. All right. All right.
Game finished.
Where you at? Where you at, baby? Let's go, baby! What? Where you at? You don't respect us? You better recognize who the hell this is, because we're 3-2 against you. Go back home. We're at your house. We're in your kitchen. We're making eggs with your favorite pan. Go back home. We're at your house. We're in your kitchen. We're making eggs with your favorite pan.
Oh
No.
my God,
No.
Give the people what they want.
5 a.m. and just starts yelling like that.
5 a.m. PK,
Bro.
holy shit. Give this
Yeah.
man a round of applause. Woo! Oh, man, the Damage Boys ain't going to like that. Oh,
Yeah, they
man.
didn't like it. They didn't like it. No.
Oh, you guys are 3-2 against them? That's impressive, man. Damage is fucking a superb
man.
team.
Well, like
they
they're amazing, and they played that lockdown Sunday ball right off the rip. Like when we
Yeah.
practice them, they teach us the field real fast, but it's just like I don't know. I think Rich tries to hype it up. He's like, "Yo, these guys don't respect you." Joey told us that you guys weren't clutch before the game. Like I don't know if Rich is in our heads just trying to get us riled up.
Right,
Whatever
that's
works, right? At this
Yeah.
point, but yeah,
Dude, he's a master. Rich is a master. Talk
Sensei,
to me about
baby.
bro. Yeah, Sensei Telford. Are you kidding me? He's the one. He's
Yeah.
the one. So talk to me about what it's like having Rich Telford as your coach. He's sometimes, I think, in the PTG chat Discord. Holler to the PTG world one time. They have some questions about Rich as well. We'll get into that in a bit. But what's it like being coached by Mr. Telford?
Rich he's like, if you don't know Rich, he is like the funniest guy,
Straight up.
like of all time. Like he's just laughable, and he does not
Oh,
mean
people
to be.
hear him on the webcast.
Yeah.
But dude, if you like hang out with that man, he like every
Sometimes a
line
little
is
out of
gold.
pocket. A couple
Yeah.
times I'm
A
like,
little out of
"Whoa,
pocket."
go."
Yo, he's wild. But
I love him, dude.
dude,
my
he's
favorite.
he's a great dude, man, and he really cares about the sport.
He really does.
Being coached by him, man, like he's made me realize so much. And like honestly, a lot of my player growth for the past like year and a half, 2 years, like goes to Rich because like he really holds me accountable, and he just like he makes me question like if I'm working hard enough, if I'm doing all the things that I could be doing. Like you know what I mean? He calls me out, and he makes me a better human. Like obviously
How
makes
does
me
he
a better
do it
player,
though?
but
Does he like ask you just really thoughtful questions, or how does he call you out?
yeah, he knows you so well. Like if he watched you play paintball for 20 minutes, he could break down your whole. It's kind of crazy,
It is
but
crazy. Yeah.
he asks like super thoughtful questions. Like he'll be like, "Hey, who you watching? Hey, I need an analysis on these 4 teams. Can you give that to me?" Like, you know what I mean? He'll just question like if I'm not doing it already, am I really doing all the stuff I should be doing? And he'll give me like fitness challenges, mobility challenges. He'll just like, "Hey, are you doing this? Hey, can you do this?" Like it's more like challenges, and it's like it's more fun that way. Honestly, it's not like a coach coming down on you and like calling you out for not playing well. He'll try to challenge you. It's cool.
I like that. He's the man, dude. And I got to give so much respect to Rich Telford as well. I came up in Modesto at Extreme Paintball, and Rich was always one of the best dudes in the world to have around. Really tough on you, but that's what it takes. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I have no.
certainly.
I appreciate that. It's endearing to me actually because it shows that, you know, if you don't say anything or you're not tough on me, I might be like, I don't know, are there, you know, what do they actually, they might not care about me. I don't, you know, like what do we got going on? But you know, when someone, and same thing like you said with Harris, you're tough on him, that's your brother. It's because you care about him. It's because you
Straight
want to
up.
see that man be the best. It's because you want to see him be successful and you know that he can, you know, and that's why it's so good to have people like that in your corner. And Rich is one of them. He's one of the best. I mean, he's been in the game since the early years of the sport. So he's seen so many iterations of paintball. And like you said, he can just call you out immediately, watch you for 20 minutes and have you pegged and be like, here's what you got to do. You know, it's pretty crazy.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And
he's the man.
He's dude, I couldn't say it enough. Like I kind of like shed it off for a little bit. Like my first year, I was kind of questioning it. I didn't really buy in, and that's just me. That's one of my flaws, right? Like I didn't know. I had respect for him, obviously, but like second year, I was like, all right, well, I just didn't know like how like obviously because he like jokes around a lot on the webcast. You know what I mean? Like he'll like, and it's like, oh, okay, well, like I don't know. But and he also has a different style of paintball than I traditionally have. Like I like to do like the slow methodical where he's like kind of wants to be applying pressure at all times, like never like it's almost like a chokehold. It's like MMA to him. He's always trying to apply the pressure. He's always trying to knock you out. Like he just wants to take you out as fast as possible. So, and that's just like his play style, and him doing that for me and trying to bring that out of me, I think that's going to take my game to the next level, because I feel like that's what I've lacked is aggressiveness. And like you said, figuring out those puzzle pieces and making a move on time, but like also understanding that like I'm not going to win the game from my spot all the time. And it's going to take some dynamic moves, and it's going to take some, you know what I mean? Some tough thinking and some conversations and just connection with my teammates. And that's really what it helps me with is my communication, because I'll go in and out of like, you know, I'll be talking one point flawlessly. Next point, I'll get in my spot. I'll lose 2 guys off the break. I'm trying to put the pieces together. I stop talking. I go mute. I try to kill a bunch of people. And it's like, first thing he says to me is like, yo, so you're going to talk to your teammates? Like, you know, there's valuable information. If you die with all the information, like, and those are just fundamentals, right? Like, it's not like as pros, we know that, but it's just the way he goes about it. I really
many
enjoy
pros
it.
don't apply that. They really don't. It should be basic. It should be basic knowledge when you get to the pro level that you need to communicate with your teammates. But I watch a lot of pro players not communicate well, and it's you know, like the teams that are winning are communicating well. Period.
Straight up.
Period. Like it's probably, I would argue, it's the most important thing in the game.
100%.
You know?
100%.
That you can't make a decision without all the information, and the only way you get all the information is through communication.
Yeah, I mean, to call it out, I mean, that last point against you guys put together through communication. You said it before. If I go back and look at that point and just analyze everything I could have done better, it starts with communication and making sure somebody has my back. I tried to, you know, I mean, we all tried to play individual paintball there, and we paid for it. So huge lesson to the, you know, I mean, the community is just communicate, man. Just communicate.
Yeah, if you would have connected with Will, maybe it would have been a different outcome, right? Because you guys were kind of separated up there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we've gone over the film as a team. We've made a whole call for like what happened, and you know, it was pretty much an island drill, right? Like at the end of the day, you guys swung the right side. We didn't swing the left back to put any pressure on you, and Blake played island ball, and you guys keyed up on me, and then the seam opened, and you took the move. So. It's just, you know,
what a damn move too. Holy shit.
Shout out to Marcel. It's a good move.
Damn.
I don't even bunker people.
I was, dude,
Defensive
I know.
player
It
of the
was
year,
insane,
baby.
bro.
Defensive
it was
player
insane.
of the year.
I was sitting there. I was actually sideline, tape side, like on the snake side. And I watched the entire channel. I actually saw you. I saw it all click in your brain, actually. Like I was watching you. I don't know, maybe it was like telekinesis. I was like, oh, bro, he's seen it.
Maybe you told me.
Dude, it clicked. I saw it click. I like it clicked. And then it was like, oh, damn. Yup. And it was from communication. And Pat, you're so right, dude. It's the cornerstone. Without it, there's nothing. Your team has nothing.
Straight
if you
up.
Can't all get on the same page and have some conversations out there, have some fun with it. I say this when I do my training events, and I go, like, I travel all over the country and I teach paintball. You know, it's like my pride and joy, actually. It's my favorite thing to do. And we're doing a PTG Pro School soon. But when I go to these events, I tell them, you know, that's the cornerstone. And they get a good laugh out of it when I make the analogy of like, if they're not talking to you, it's kind of like, damn, are we cool? You know, Are we friends? Like you got my back, right? We're on the same. We're doing this, right? Because it is like that. It's like we all got to be on that same page to have it work. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. Like straight up. And it's the cornerstone. So you hit it right on the head with that, dude.
Facts.
Yeah. Communication again is just painting the whole picture, and especially when you're down bodies, like that's when you got to communicate the most. You know.
100%.
That's it's so crucial. But I will say, I don't know. You know, you mentioned something like you lose 2 bodies, you go quiet, go try to get a bunch of kills. Sometimes that works too. You know, if it happens quick enough and you see something, you might not have time to communicate all the information. You know what I love about this game is you can make yourself sound real stupid if you say that this is the way you should always do it.
That's right.
because there are no absolutes in this game.
I was literally just going to say something along the lines of what you're
There
saying
are
right
no
now.
absolutes in this game. You could play percentages. You can play like what will work
Probability.
most of the time, probability. But
Yeah.
sometimes you got to throw rules out the window. Sometimes you got to know when to break the rule, bend the rule. Sometimes you got to know when to follow the rule.
That's
It's really, really interesting. And it's kind of always a gamble. And you're making these decisions based on years of experience and how many times you've seen that situation, maybe how many times you've seen that situation against those players. So now you're like, well, they know the rules. So if I play by the rules, it's not going to work. You know, they don't know the rules. So I'll play by the rules and it will work. Or they know the rules. So I gotta do something way out of left field, you know?
Yeah.
There's a really interesting thing with this sport that, and I'm sure it's like that in all sports too, you know, because it is a chess game and you're essentially it's a mental battle, right? It's a mental battle. So you're trying to do something before the other team thinks you're going to do it, or you're trying to prevent something before the other team does it. You know, so
straight up.
It's juggling. It's a juggling act
for sure. Yeah, but no absolutes. No absolutes.
That's absolutely true. As soon as you corner
That's
this,
the only absolute.
honestly, yeah, because as soon as you try to corner this game, or like this is what we got to do, or this, then you're already too tight. You got to be loose with this thing. It's got to be a dance and a rhythm, and the rhythm comes from the chorus. From the chorus, we got to carry the chorus with the communication, get the ideas flowing of what is going on out here, and then off of those ideas, you can make really educated, mature decisions and connect the field and do all the things necessary. Sometimes you got to go. Sometimes you don't got to go. Sometimes, like Marcelo was saying, you bend the rules, you break the rules. There are no rules. This is the rule. It's always just like changing, and you got to just be, on a better rhythmic flow than the other team and be able to have a really good idea, like March said as well, of if they know the rules or they don't know the rules, what are they thinking as well? Because they're coming into the game with a perception. They're coming in with a particular type of way of thinking about how they're going to approach it. And you also have to calculate that into the algorithm or whatever for approaching each opponent and each game. It's really crazy at the top end. And if you can apply a couple of these tactics as a divisional player, I know there's thousands of divisional players out there listening that, if you can start to just edge teams out in these little ways, you're going to see your team be able to take those steps in the right direction, start to win more points, more games, and be headed towards gold trophies. That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's big facts. So, Pat, again, I don't want to brush over how well you played at this event. I want to talk a little bit about the off season, and personally, if you went through any sort of changes, within your workout routine or mentally, or if you started practicing certain things that you're like, I'm going to come into this first event. And again, I know we have a long season, right? It's just one event, kind of a special field. So I get all that, but still there was something different in your game, in your intensity and in, really like your focus, at least from the way it looked from the outside. Was there a conscious effort heading into this year to kind of, take the next step? And if so, what did that look like?
Yeah, I knew this question was coming. I don't want to sound arrogant or cocky, but I have like this weird mentality where when I see people do better than me or get more shine than me, I kind of get agitated and I use it as fuel. So, and this is actually kind of hits close to home to Tyler, but I love Connor Kelly. Shout out to Connor Kelly. But to see a player make that kind of big move at a young age, it just kind of lit a fire in me. And I love Connor. Super happy that he made the move. I want nothing but the best for him, and he knows that. But
he's a dog, dude. He's so good.
Yo, he's a monster, bro. And that kind of stuff, like I was 2 years ago, like I felt like I was a way better paintball player than him. And then seeing that kind of progression, how much he put into it, and I'm not gonna lie, the past 2 years I kind of took a little bit of backseat, kind of worried about my real life. But this offseason, I saw like that kind of move. And last year I had some stuff go on behind the scenes that was really, really motivated me again for this year to just make a statement, because I feel like I'm slept on and I feel like I'm super underrated. But like that doesn't mean shit unless you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that's out there just killing people. And so I made a conscious effort this year to like really try to just make a statement. Like it's going to be all year, and it's going to be for the rest of my career. This is the only way I can play paintball. I have to be both feet in And so this year for my workout routine, it's funny actually because I hit up Jacob Edwards because I heard he moves like really well for like a kind of a bigger dude, but kind of like lower to the ground. He's not as tall, but he moves really well. He pops up really fast. And he's very like agile. So I asked him
He
about
said lower to the ground.
he's shorter, bro. He doesn't want me cooking eggs in his kitchen, but he's a little bit lower to the ground, and he just moves well. And I was like, "Yo, what do you do?" And he's like, I do a lot of burpees." So I was like, "Okay, well," and he was like MVP last year, right? Or like he had that one-on-one, that dope one-on-one. He was just playing lights out last year. You know what I mean? Like he was just on another level.
Dude, that kid is always, in my opinion, Jacob is just
nasty,
insanely good.
Yeah, filthy, bro. He's disgusting. Like I didn't even think he lost a one-on-one last year. So I was like, all right, well, let me take a page out of his book. I'm already doing like strength training and weight training. But my coach Rich is like all over me about the HIIT workouts and the high intensity and just being in better shape. And and it was 100% right. At World Cup, I was not in good shape. Now I'm doing like 100. Well, going into the first event, I was doing 100 burpees 4 times a week at least. And that's before my workout. So I was also working out 4 times, like as well, like, nice. Push, pull, legs, deadlift. My deadlift's probably my strongest lift.
So there's a lot of people out there that they genuinely inside in the pro ranks think that you don't have to work out to play paintball at the highest level. I agree. I think that you can be highly effective, but for me personally, when I'm working out, it's just that extra. I don't know. It's just that extra. I just feel extra good. Like I would already feel good. I know I would play good. I would play really good, and play paintball. But I don't know. It's just that extra. And I live for that extra. So for me personally, I'm with you. I'm in the gym. I know Marcelo's in the gym, and it adds a different pedigree to the play, if that makes sense.
Well, I think to me, it adds confidence because I know I'm working and I know that like I'm getting stronger. Okay. Like I'm not just trying to go to the gym and just like ease on through it. Like I'm trying to go there and test myself. Like I'm trying to PR. I'm trying to be as strong as I've ever been. If you want things that you've never achieved, you have to do things you've never done. Right. Like, and so I'm trying to add things to my game. So I was doing 100 burpees going to this past event, right? I was eating better, way better. My diet was so much cleaner. I think honestly, that's the biggest thing, especially for cardio and endurance. It's just like, it's huge and treating your body right. Right. And so I worked out really well. I had a really good diet and I just watched a lot of film. I watched Know Thy Enemy. That's what I was doing.
I don't know if that's true.
I was
walking by you.
You're right about the cleats.
I was right about the cleats.
I even let the people know.
I was walking by Pat during practice on Thursday, and he's like, "Damn, okay, those are finally some cool New Balances." And I was like, "These are the same shoes that I wore all last season, and you had nothing nice to say about New Balance." He's like, "Bro, those ain't the cleats you wore last year. I watch a lot of film." I was like, "If you watch a lot of film, then you saw these shoes. You ain't watching enough film, or you're watching the wrong players. See, that's what your problem is. You're watching the wrong players."
You got me, bro. That did happen.
That's hilarious.
Confirmed though. The blue, shout out to the blue New Balances. Those things are fresh, dude.
They were kind of hot. I was looking for them actually when I got home. Black or white.
I got you, bro. I will buy you a pair and send them to you.
Yo,
I will personally sponsor you for a pair of New Balance cleats. You heard it here on Play the Game podcast. Pat Kraft is getting a pair of New Balance cleats. All you gotta do is say yes. Shoot me the address, your size, and we'll make it happen.
I got you. Shout out to Marcelo. I'll be looking like Marcelo now, I guess, a little bit.
Wait, did he say yes? We got to say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, done deal.
Let's go.
Done deal.
Put
it on the to-do list.
We're getting the New Yorkers some New Balances. This is a major breakthrough. This is a major breakthrough.
This is a moment.
This is a monumental breakthrough. This is a weather break.
Dog.
Shout out Jack Harlow.
Dog. Yeah. Shout out to young Jack one time. He's in the house right now.
You're
about to be on your feet.
Got you, bro.
It's hard to get feet out here, bro, right now.
All right. Yeah. So PK, I do want to dive back into your daily routine. I want to hear more about like what is your daily routine like and your preparation. I'm really interested in that. And I think it brings a lot of value to a lot of listeners and helps them in their preparation as well.
So this event, I was waking up like I had to be to work by 10. So I was waking up at like 7:30. I'd knock 100 burpees out just like as soon as I woke up. I'd hit a good stretch, take a shower, go to work for 8 hours, and then I'd get out of work and I'd go straight to the gym for like another hour and a half, 2 hours. Currently I'm getting kind of tatted up, so I can't hit the sauna, but usually I'm getting a little tatted up.
What do we got?
I've got a lot, bro. I'm getting my ribs done, get my chest done, get my arm done. I'm getting a lot done, bro.
Let's get it.
But so like I would hit the gym after for like at least an hour and a half, and I'm just doing straight training. Like so, like I said, there's push, pull, legs, and then I do deadlifts, all 4 different compound lifts, just different days. I hit them at least once a week because I'm not trying to really progress on. I'm not trying to get big and bulky. I'm doing like hypertrophy work and just endurance, so I can, you know what I mean, go like I noticed that I hit a ceiling at like 8-9 points in, and then I can't really go out for 10. So I really wanted to make a difference in that, and I wanted to go past. I want to be able to play like 12-15 points. I want to be in that range, so I can just. But so yeah, that's what I was really working on. Reps were all 12s to 15s. I don't really hit much cardio. That's really where my diet comes in, but like the hit workouts are high intensity, so it's good for my cardio as well. But yeah, I would do that 3-4 days a week at least, and then I was playing or trying to drill at least 1 day a week. In the Northeast, it sucks with the cold. Now that the weather's breaking, like I said, I'll be there both days every single weekend. But I'm right now actually. Well, so that was my routine for the first event. And obviously, you know, we fell short. So I was like, all right, well, what can I add? Now I'm doing 150 burpees a day, and I'm just going to keep stacking them, and they're going to add up, and that kind of stuff that leads to good moments on the field. I'm telling you, every single time I work hard, I just see it in like different forms of like, not luck, but just where, you know, when preparation meets, you know, the moment. So.
Absolutely, dude. You got to be clocked in, and, you know, like we said, physically and mentally, and thinking about how we can break games open, essentially, right? That's the rhythm.
Yeah.
I disagree with the sentiment that working out doesn't make you a tremendously better than your opponent, especially mentally, right? Like, where I think you see the biggest difference is when you get fatigued, you make bad decisions. This game is about decisions. So if you're not in good shape, if you are not fit, then, you know, in some of these events that are hot and you are playing, you know, 12, 13 points, if you're a player that's asked by your coach to play every point, but by point 6, you're, you know, huffing and puffing, you're not going to make the best decisions. You're not going to make the move that you probably need to make. You're not going to connect on the shot that you need to connect on. Yeah, you might still be, Tyler, you know, to be fair, you did say you could be effective. Maybe you could be effective, but dude, you're just hurting yourself. You are absolutely hurting yourself. You need to be able to be as sharp as possible deep into Sunday, period. Like, that's what it takes. You have to be able to, and I care more about the mental part of it than any other part of it. The physical stuff is like, you can kind of push through that. You know, you can push through it until, you know, you get to a point to where maybe you collapse and have cramps and you physically can't go anymore, but you can push through like sore legs. You can push through being out of breath. But the mental part that comes with it of like making decisions, you can't push through that. There's nothing like you're just not as strong. You're not as clear as you would be if your body was in better condition. So to me, that's like the most important part of it, is being able to make good decisions deep into Sunday, you know, and that's what I need all players on the squad to be able to do. You know, like, you get lazy when you're tired. You know, you're not decisive. You're not quick. You're not sharp, you know? So working out is, and Ty, you work out more than almost anyone, you know, you're always in the gym. PK, it sounds like you're on that program now too. And, you know, I don't quite know what your workout routine was previously, but I would argue that it made a difference in your decision-making this event. You know, forget how fast you look, forget how many points you could go, but your decision-making is sharp because your body feels good. Your mind is more clear, right? It's kind of like, you know, the mind-body connection is so powerful, so fascinating. And if you don't work out the body, the mind starts to have these cobwebs build up. If you're not eating well and you don't exercise and you don't have good blood flow and you don't have good mobility and you just have all this negative, you know, you're not going to feel as great about yourself. Your mind starts to kind of build these cobwebs You got to dust that shit out. And you dust that shit out by being in good shape, drinking a lot of water, eating well, making sure you're just taking care of yourself. And that, to me, I mean, it's a game of making good decisions. Like we all talk about that. It's what separates the good players from the great players? Decision-making. That's it. If you can aid that with off the field stuff that doesn't even relate to paintball, such as eating well, sleeping well, staying hydrated, there's plenty of studies and data on simple hydration and how important that is for decision-making and mental clarity. If you're not doing that stuff, I mean, you're already behind the curve. Forget how much experience you have or need. You could do all these things to make yourself 10, 15% better without even playing another game of paintball, So like the fact that a lot of pro players aren't doing it, but they say that they want to be the best or, do the best or all these things. I'm like, dude, no, you don't. Stop talking to me like that, because it's frustrating.
He said, stop talking to me.
Well, I get it though. And you're right. I mean, because like, and speaking from like the guy that's coming from like below all the guys that are like the GOATs and the vets in the game, it's like, if I'm not doing all the right things, how am I going to get ahead? How? Yeah. You're light years ahead. And like you said, how many years you guys been playing pro? Like you've seen the situations 1,000, if not 10,000 more times than I have. It's like, that's huge. So I have to outwork you in every facet. And there's not just, there's the spectrums here. I got to beat you and 51%. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to beat you 51% so I can take home that trophy. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be better than, I was last year, and it's a competition with myself more than anything. And just like I said, I feel like I'm slept on, and that's not going to be the case no more.
Well, the players and the pros know, dude, you're clocked in, and, we all got, shoot, you're a dog. You got the respect of everyone that I know, they know that you're coming for the win every time. And you got one of the biggest hearts in the game. And, to be 4 years pro and talking the way you are and approaching the game the way you are, it's only going to get better from here. You just keep with that progression and keep having fun with it. Like we always talk about, you got to really have fun with the process and it's gold.
Pat, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. One, it's a good place to be able to feel like the league or other players or coaches, fans are sleeping on you. It's a good feel if you use it that way. I've been there many times. I've felt that way many times. And I tell myself these certain stories to, help me through workouts, help me through, whatever it might be to take the next step. But at the same time, you got to be real with yourself sometimes and realize maybe there's a reason. I will say that you were somebody that I've had like so much confidence and belief in for a long time. And then we were just talking about it. You were episode 9 on this show. So 2020, May, we had you on again. I was like so excited. And I have no clue, behind the scenes, what was going on, if it was personal. And we don't have to get into any of that, right? That's not for the world to know probably. And I understand sometimes difficult things will pull you away from, certain priorities or certain things that you thought were priorities. But then it did seem like, you weren't doing all the things necessary to be at the highest level. I remember there was a few practices where the team was out in San Diego and you weren't here, or you missed one of the days, and it was like, well, what's up with Pat? Like he was just telling me he's all in on this, and he wants to do this. And so, the point of it is being real with yourself when you're getting that feedback from people as well. When you're getting that feedback from your peers, sometimes it's a good wake up call to look at, okay, you know what? Maybe they're right. And that means, what do I need to do better to prove them wrong, rather than, they just don't see it. That's a realization that I've come to many times, like, why don't they see this? Like, I know that I'm capable of this, and I believe that to my core, but you know what? Maybe I haven't shown it the way I think that I have. Because if I did, then they probably wouldn't be saying these things.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah, 100%.
So it's really a tremendous learning experience, and could be something that can help you really take the next step if you can absorb all that type of criticism and things that people say, both good and bad, and really use it as fuel and say, fucking hey, I'm going to lock in on this and accept like your personal shortcomings. Shortcomings, it's not a knock on you as an individual, right? It's only a knock if you don't learn from it, if you don't grow from it, if you don't turn it into a positive, if you let it continue to be the same kind of negative. But if you can learn from it and you can take that and say, you know what, I'm going to fix this. This is what I need to work on. I have a clear path on how to do it. Then you're unstoppable. like what's going to stop you? You can continue to have things that you just fix and work on and get better at. And you're a machine that just is never going to stop. You're going to continuously just get better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real. That was valid. I've came to that same realization, and you're 100% right, man. And like I said, when I looked internally, I knew that I wasn't doing everything that I should have been doing. And that was the reason why I wasn't getting the results I wanted. And now I'm just not like, I'm out of time. I know I'm still young. I'm 29, but like this is my moment. This is where I'm going to just put my all into it for as long as I can. For as long as I got left, I'm going to give it all I got, because I'm not looking back on this with any regrets. Like I can't live with myself when I'm old, and just thinking about
Straight up.
did I give it enough? Like, it's like, bro, I know I can do it. And, I'm going to, it's the process. Right. And I'm in love with it. Just like Tyler said, man, I've never felt a joy and excitement like this to play paintball, for a while, and and Mars, what, like the past couple of years, like I'm not gonna make excuses. It was super personal. I was going through some stuff with my old man and stuff. But it deterred me from the game, and that won't happen again. And I'll do my best to stay focused.
I hear you, brother, and I'm really sorry that you were going through that. Life can be tough sometimes, man. And unfortunately, in certain scenarios, you do have to pull attention from things that you love, straight up. It's just the way it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's good to see you, looking and feeling refreshed and rejuvenated to come back and attack this thing full on.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys and everything you guys do for the sport. It means a lot to me, man.
Right back at you. I can't believe it's been 175 episodes since we had
That's
you on.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, man.
That was the early show. Episode 9, bro. That's crazy.
I'm the OG, bro.
Yeah, you were a OG. Episode 9. And it's so strange that I remember the episode number. I put it on everything. I didn't go back and look. Like, for some reason, I just remember PK was 9. I don't know why. I remembered that.
Dude, I was in my kitchen at the apartment. That was where we filmed that one at. My family had to leave the apartment when we did shows in the first early episodes. I was like, you guys got to get out of here. I got 2 kids. And my wife's like, where am I going? What am I going to do? I don't know. But we had dedication, and we still have the dedication, and we're super honored to have you back on, dude. And it's been, coming up on 3 years since we've had you on the show, and a lot's changed. What are some of the biggest things that have changed for you? Obviously, you have this new routine, but just you as a person and how you're approaching things from 3 years ago to now.
I think that's been the most influential years of my life. Honestly, I've gone through a lot of, a lot of growth. I finally have a stable job. I'm so thankful for that. Obviously it's the cornerstone of, like, I would say my success right now is that I'm not worried financially, which is something that I wasn't used to. Other than that,
dude, congrats on that. That's major.
Thank you. Yeah. And like I said, I'm just going to keep elevating. I might want to go back to school. It really helped me mentally get through a lot of stuff that I was going through. But yeah, the way that I'm looking at stuff now is just more with like an open mindset, just not like, Marcelo, what you touched on is like, I honestly, if I were to describe our team at this past event with how you were saying, like, always providing a solution, always trying to get ahead, like, and not, waste any time in limbo or complaining or, being negative. That was our team, and like, that's kind of the way I'm trying to look at like life. I just don't have any more time to waste, man. And I'm not negotiating with myself anymore. Like, I feel like in the past I'd negotiate. All right, well, I'm going to the gym later. All right. 5 o'clock comes around. I'm out of work. I'm getting a little tired. I'm yawning. All right, I'm going to go home tonight. Hey babe, you want to watch a movie? You
worked hard today. You don't actually need to go to the gym, like you'll go tomorrow, like, don't worry about it, and actually I should probably be a good boyfriend tonight too. So yeah, dude, you're 100%. That is crucial. Don't negotiate with yourself on that stuff. If you set something, do it.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I've been at. Like I said, I was like 400 burpees a week. Okay. By any means, right? Like, whatever I have to do to get them done. Cause I was noticing that if I did my burpees with my workout, I wouldn't do as much weight on my workouts, my lifts. So I was like, okay, well, now I got to adapt. I'll do my burpees in the morning. All right, let's see how my lifts go. It's just finding a way and a solution to the problems at hand. Because like you said, if you do that, man, it's really the way that you look at life. You can make life whatever you want. You can be stressed out. You could be upset. You could be happy. You could be optimistic. Like we did a little work meeting today, and we did this like quick little activity, and it was like draw how you feel. And obviously, I feel really good coming off that event and that performance. Obviously, I'm super hungry, and honestly, I could have played way more dynamic and stuff. But when I was drawing how I felt, it was just I drew a sun. I mean that too, valid action. But no, I feel super optimistic, man. And it's just the way the guys and the vibes on the team and the way that everyone's willing to work for each other, man. I feel so optimistic. And I drew a sun coming up with like the roots into the ground, and it was it's good vibes.
Yeah.
We talked about this too. You should have played that one-on-one, Pat.
Yeah.
I love Corey. Corey's amazing at one-on-ones. I get it. But you were on fire that match. Like you just had multiple. You got to step into the spotlight there and say, I'm taking on this. I'm playing this one-on-one.
Yeah, should have just showed him your Pro Tour belt. Just been like, look at this thing.
I'm not proud of myself for like not. And it wasn't even that I was tired or anything like that. I just like made a move and got blown to bits. And I was like, Corey's standing there fresh. And Corey, actually, the backstory is that Corey beat me at the last one-on-one competition that we had at our field with our team. So in the back of my mind, I'm like,
Corey's
fuck.
Nasty.
Yeah. And like, but I mean, like you said, I'm like a tournament player. I call it. I mean, I play okay at practice. I play good at practice, but I really like to come out hype at tournaments. I play a little bit more like sharp and crisp, but I was beating myself up over that too. I should have definitely taken that one-on-one. And I like watched a lot of Graham Arnold and like a lot of film from him. He had a one-on-one at World Cup. Like
I would have kind of shoes he wore.
Didn't know what kind of shoes he wore at all. He probably doesn't wear New Balances because he's got swag, but I mean,
you have a pair of New Balances coming to your front door, bro. You better chill.
No, I'm playing, but like I would have known Graham, and I know he would have went to Aztec. I know he would have played predominantly right hand, switched to his left snapshot because that's what he does, especially in the Aztec. So I'm not happy with that. I had all the faith in Corey, but you're right. I should have taken that one.
It's a tough thing too. Like when I don't know how it went down in the pit. If the team had already kind of gone towards him, you don't mess with that mojo either, though. It definitely is, yeah. But if the coach is asking, motherfucker, you got to be the one that especially when you're playing like that, right? And not always, but you were having a phenomenal match. And so you got to have the confidence to be able to say, yeah, this is it, and you know what, if you fail, who cares, but you got to have the confidence and belief in yourself, especially when you're playing at that level, that should be you, and why not?
Yeah. The boys looked at me. I knew it as soon as I like got blown up and I was running back to the pit. I saw them and they were like, they were going like this to me. And I was like, all right, here it comes. Like, let's go. And then I got in and I just, for some reason, my mind switched. I was making good decisions that whole event. So honestly, I felt really good about it. I don't like regret that decision at all.
It didn't change anything. You guys, it didn't, keep you guys from making Sunday. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It really wasn't a big deal. It's just
you're right.
It's, it's robbing yourself of a moment too, that, and, I guess it could have been Corey's moment. He's had those moments. He's won big one-on-ones before, but again, it's about momentum in sports, and with the way you're playing, I think everybody expected and wanted to see Pat Kraft come out.
Yeah. I promise in the future it won't happen again.
Give the people Pat Kraft.
Give the people what they want.
I wanted to. I was praying for that. I was praying for moments like that. So I should have took it. So it came.
Dude, there's so much fun to watch. And at the end of the day, that's what paintball is doing right now. A really good job of is entertaining, the viewers. I feel like people are having a lot of fun watching the paintball games. And actually, in the Discord, shout out to Lettuce. He's wondering, he's always wondered why Rich is in the booth commenting when he's your guys' coach. And he's like, do you think the team would benefit more from having him in the pits, or what is the dynamic there? Because I know you also have
Danley.
That's right. Mr. Dan in the pits. So that's kind of the balance there, I would assume, right?
Yeah. So Danley was a later acquisition by Rich after, 2 years in the booth. It was his third year coaching us. or no, it was his second year coaching us. He has Dan come in and kind of like help him out, because obviously everyone knows that Rich's job is for Go Sports, like he works for Go Sports, you know.
Yeah.
So he's made that commitment, and you know, obviously, circumstances will lead someone to, you know what I mean, prioritize something over the other. So, you know, I mean, he just has priorities, and he has, you know, certain circumstances where he can't be with us in the pits yet. Some games he is in the pits with us, and it is obviously huge for us. But he comes over every single night, just like a normal coach. He's with us all the time. He's telling us what we need to do. He's not missing out on anything, and it's definitely not a negative. So
He's always watching.
There's a big difference though of having that your coach in there with you making the actual play calls, right? And
100%.
Yeah, there's a difference there. I think it definitely, you know, you're not getting 100% of Rich, and
Definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know how Danley coaches. I've never been in a pit with him. I don't have much insight as to, you know, how he does with you guys. So maybe it's a, you know, symbiotic kind of situation where he's an extension of Rich. That would be the most ideal, right?
That's what I was trying to say. I guess he's an extension of Rich. Obviously, he's his go-to man. Honestly, the team kind of comes up with like we have a set, you know, set plays, and the team kind of makes adjustments together. So like Dan's more like a stats kind of strategic guy. He's very calculated. Like this man, when he releases, like we call it a compendium, something like that. He releases like a PDF, bro, and it's like 30 pages, and it's like our agenda from like start to finish, like for the whole layout weekend for the tournament. Like it's just, the guy is amazing. I mean, we love what he brings to the game, and he's that guy that sits out of the field all day and will scout every single team. You know what I mean? And then come back and be like, all right, guys, here are the analytics. Bang, see you later. Oh, okay, cool. We didn't have to watch that 2 hours of film because we know where they go. We know which way their guns are pointed. We know what they want as secondaries. Like he's a really good asset, honestly, man, for real. And obviously, Rich in the pits, that would be huge for us. But
so sorry, Ty, real quick, because this leads into a question from the Dorfster 420. Do you think Danley is one of the more underrated play callers in the league?
I think, well, like I said, Dan calls the plays, but usually Bo calls the plays. Bo wasn't at this event. So do I think he's underrated?
Bo also wasn't at this event. So it's not just Harris departing. Bo wasn't there, and you guys did this well. We're gonna have to have a talk with Big Bo.
Bo wasn't there for personal reasons because he was moving into his new house in Nashville. Shout out to Bo Milo. He's the man.
Shout out to Bo.
Let's go, Bo.
Love Bo, dude. I'm just giving him a hard time.
He's the best. Yeah, honestly, he wanted to be there so bad, and he planned to come like 3-4 times, and just all, you know, the flights and everything, just life. But yeah, I would say Dan is underrated at play calling for sure. And I think he'll only get better because he's a really smart dude, and the more experience he gets in pro, and the more matches, like the match that we had on Sunday, like our whole team has never been in that situation, you know. And now that we've been there, and you know, I think we're growing as a team, and I know we're gonna be better next time around. So I have confidence in Dan. Yeah, he's a great guy, super underrated in the paintball community.
Do you guys think? You guys think if you beat us, you go on to beat Damage in the finals?
It's not even a question, bro. You're gonna question that, Tyler? I know. What do you think?
Tyler, we're gonna be scrambling some eggs.
Yeah. Damn, in their kitchen.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
I think that event, and I'm not even trying to be cocky, but I feel like our game plan was the best game plan. Like,
I agree.
So it's not even, I'm not even being cocky over Damage. Obviously, it would have been a great paintball game. It would have been a great match. You know what I'm saying? But I just think our game plan was the best, and we just, you know, we had a couple little mistakes. We played too defensive. That second point against Dynasty, we let you guys come to us. We gave you the 50s. The overtime point, or the point before the overtime point, we went down 2 bodies out the break. I ran up the White House sneak route. You guys called yellow. I know that was your code to shoot me. I should have altered, but I didn't. And you know, it was just a couple little mistakes, man. A couple little mistakes. So.
Yeah, I know it's a game of, I mean, not even inches, just like the smallest minute details are changing things on these paintball tournaments. And you know, you gotta, as we all know, you gotta make those moments count when those are happening.
Yeah, I think we would have beat them. Honestly, we already had beaten them one time in the event, and it's hard to beat a team twice. But I feel like they were like Conor McGregor, like they were jazzed up. If they would have got to play us, they would have been all jazzed up, and then you never know what would have happened. They either knock us out or we sleep them. So
it was funny how guns got hot in the finals. Like we would shoot 2 on the break, then they would shoot 2 on the break. It was like crazy. All of a sudden, the field sped up. We had we played 7 points. Played 7 points.
That didn't happen the whole day. That didn't happen. That didn't happen the whole day.
Yeah. Damage is nasty, man. Damage is nasty. That would have been a good final for sure.
Yo, and I understand that you guys if you guys are listening, if you guys didn't like what I had to say, like it's all in fun, man. I have nothing but respect for the Damage guys, like that organization. Like literally Joey he's helped me, you know what I mean? And I'm not even on his team. He's given me the time of day. Like the Edwards brothers, shout out to them. They're amazing paintballers. Keith Brown, one of my boys, everyone, and Horn really stepped up this event too. Like,
yeah, totally.
B Smith, like you guys are all, you know what I mean? I'm sorry if you didn't like what I said, but it is what it is. They caught me in a vulnerable moment, man.
Dude, that's a good.
Dude, you don't walk it back, Pat. You said it. You gotta own it, dude.
I'm definitely not walking it back.
Better keep your apron on.
I'm definitely not walking it back.
Just keep that apron on. Don't go spilling none of those eggs on that shirt.
Yo, next time we play, it's gonna be the same shit, man. I got a chip on my shoulder when I play you guys. So
you know what's? I had no clue there was this Damage NYX or Damage and Pat Kraft thing going on. I had no clue, but now I cannot wait to see Damage and NYX play each other. See, this is the kind of stuff that is good for professional paintball.
Facts.
And Go Sports, by the way, shout out to Go Sports and the NXL Major League Paintball. I think they did a phenomenal job with their media at this last event. And still, every single day, they're reposting clips from games. And I mean, that is huge. I think I think in the next year, this thing could really explode. Like, I really do. I think through social media, through those channels, it can explode. I really believe that. I see it happen with things that are way less cool. I don't see why we couldn't do it. We need to keep telling these awesome stories. You should probably go on Go Sports and do an interview and talk about cooking eggs in the kitchen, omelets, scrambled, bacon, cheddar, whatever kind of egg you want, whatever it is, extra crispy hash browns, one time. Like my favorite thing to say when I'm shooting people off the break and I'm shooting well, my favorite thing is shoes off. No running in my house. No running in my house. Take your shoes off is my favorite thing, dude.
That's a good one.
My favorite thing.
I like that one.
Yeah. We need to get that clip on there sometime.
For real.
Dude, that's amazing stuff. That's what it's all about. We got to keep having fun. Yeah. And that's what the people want. Give the people what they want, PK.
That's right.
All right. What's your favorite music you're listening to these days before you are playing paintball? What's a hot new song you got to let the people know about? What do we got?
I've been on some weird old school vibes. I've been listening to Eye of the Tiger a lot before I play. Okay. Yeah. Right. I'm on that Rocky, in the woods in the winter, picking up logs and shit. I'm hitting pigs, I'm beating up meat. I'm just I'm feeling it. I love that. Eye of the Tiger.
Let them know.
Okay. All right. Jesus. This is a PG show, brother.
I'm sorry. My man.
Whatever it takes.
My man's over here beating me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him. He's outside punching cattle and
yeah. I hope that's what he's talking about.
That's after.
That's messed up too.
That's after
the beef, the beef hanging. You know how it is.
Yeah, with Rocky, bro.
Yeah. He's in there. He's in there.
No, but I mean, I guess if I would give him a more trendy song, 92 Explorer by Post Malone. That's a vibe too. It's pretty cool.
Go. Yes, sir. Yeah, there's so much good music out there right now. We know you're out on the East Coast. There's always vibes out there, so I had to pick your brain on that.
Oh, we're grinding. Yeah, we're grinding.
Bro, Ty, I don't remember who shared this song with a little clip of you. I forgot who it was. Maybe it was HK.
Oh, that Tiger song was crazy.
Bro, that song goes so hard. Yeah. That shit's been on repeat. I'm not, that shit's been on repeat in the gym the last couple days. That song goes so hard. What song is it? Why can't I find it?
I gotta find that too.
Yeah, what's it called?
I Am Tiger from Antennae. So Antennae. But it's AN-TEN-NAE. song goes hard. Can't
Mhm.
play it right now probably because we'll get the whole copyright thing. But
Yep.
yeah, damn, that song goes hard.
Major. Yep.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
definitely. Yeah, goes hard.
Yo, the
Hammer
NXL,
Tiger.
I'm not sure if you guys saw in your emails, but spot insurance policies are active and
Yes.
they're rocking and rolling. So coverage up to $25,000, which is pretty amazing in the NXL, and zero
Crazy.
deductible, no network restrictions. You get some peace of mind, playing the NXL, which is pretty cool. But I thought that was an awesome email that I got today. I was like, whoa.
Not even just while you're playing the NXL. It's anytime you're practicing paintball within the calendar year that you have that card. That's tremendous. I mean, again, I told the story this preseason. I split my lip open at the paintball field, went to the emergency room. I have health insurance. I pay a significant amount each month, and I still got a $2,000 bill, which is nuts. So
Damn.
with this health insurance, I would have been totally taken care of, which would have been fantastic. So I think it's incredibly awesome.
Me too.
I know there's a lot of paintball players that don't have health insurance. And then even if you do, you might have a crazy deductible or something. So you could use this instead of your health insurance if it's something, like what I went through. I don't know if there's a deductible, actually. It didn't look like it. It looked like you were covered for anything up to $25,000.
It's $0 deductible. Yeah.
Dude, crazy. Like that's amazing, dude.
I know.
That is amazing. It is amazing. That is amazing.
Straight up.
Insurance is like $500 a month,
And
Yeah.
then the if you hurt yourself and you got to pay the deductible too, and you're like,
$1,500
God
deductible.
damn, whoa.
Yeah. I was literally, bro, nuts. The spot health insurance from, the Major League Paintball NXL, really, really a great step in the right direction for the sport. I think it's fantastic. Really cool.
Bravo.
100%.
Bravo,
Yeah,
NXL.
absolutely.
Shout out Tom Cole. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, how do you feel
Everyone.
about the league and the direction everything's going in? Are there certain things that you would like to see done differently, or how you feeling about everything? There's a lot of changes this offseason, 1 week layout, all that stuff. Let's talk about it.
The 1 week layout, I'm actually a big fan of. Just because I feel like I don't know, I like paintball, but I understand the layout pretty quick, and I feel like by the second week it gives more people time to like kind of adapt to it, and then like, after the second weekend, then you have Thursday on the layout, and then it's like we've already played so much paintball on this layout. Like, is it really like at that point? It's like, all right, who can do it better, and who's got better paint? With like the kind of the switch up on the variables with like less time on the layout, it kind of gives, I don't know. I just think it adds a different element to it that is good for some teams and I don't know, not good for others. Like the Hurricanes, like you saw their teamwork really come to, to their benefit. But and then teams that have good paintball and good like team IQ, like you can see them progress faster in 1 weekend, where if everyone had 2 weeks, it would just be more of like an equal playing field, So it's,
I think this field in particular was this field in particular didn't really show us what I think we will be shown the rest of the season about how the one layout is going to affect the bottom tier teams. In my opinion, I think the teams with more experience and more funding that can go and get, 4, 5, 6 days on the layout before the event versus the other teams that are only practicing Friday and Saturday and then Thursday at the event, I think you're going to see a much bigger separation between the top tier teams and the lower tier teams. This field was so slow that it was kind of like easier for the lower tier teams to stun a top tier team. That's just kind of how the game is. If, all the top teams, they say it. And I hope that the bottom tier teams say this too. I hope that they say when they're playing better teams, we want it to be a low scoring game. If it's a low scoring game, we have a better chance of winning. 100%. If it's, if we play 8 points, we're probably not going to win that match. But if we play 3 points, we could win 2-1. You know what I mean? It's kind of the way that paintball has gone in the last, 3-4 years. So I feel like this event was maybe not the best to showcase what I think the one layout weekend is going to do, which is going to create even further separation.
I agree with that.
I feel like there's such a steep learning curve from weekend 1 to weekend 2. By weekend 2, like on a traditional, like I feel like by weekend 2, I know so much more than I did by weekend 1 about the field. And so if the top teams can still get that amount of time in, but the teams with less funding can't, then you're just going to see even more of a divide. That's my theory on it. We'll see at the end of the season. I don't know. It didn't quite turn out that way this first event, but again, I think it was because the field was so slow. One of the slowest fields we've had in a decade, you know? So only time will tell. Do you guys still practice that weekend prior to the layout?
Yes, but it's not like a mandatory, like when we're all together. No, because we have a lot of guys. We have a lot of guys from everywhere. Like half our team's from Cali, St. Louis, Chicago. You know what I mean? So, and then a little bit north of us. So we like all the guys that can get together. We get together, but we did not do 2 weekends this event. No, we only did 1 weekend. But we also all stayed the week in Florida, and we played as well on Tuesday. So we had good 4 days on the layout. Yeah, we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and then Thursday. Yeah,
Thursday. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you still got a lot of time on the layout.
100%. And honestly, I was thinking about what you were saying. I was like, what, even if you're not doing the 2 weekends in a correct fashion, you're not gonna, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's all about efficiency and like what you're actually getting out of it. Because like on Sunday, we only played 12 points on Sunday. At our first layout weekend practice, but we got a lot out of those points. And if you look at that, that was like 3 matches on this layout. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of
interesting.
Quality over quantity, I would say, I guess. I don't know. I think there's an argument for each, but I think we will see as the year goes on. But I think you might be right, actually, honestly.
We'll see. I don't know. Again, it didn't turn out that way the first event, but we'll see.
It's a science experiment.
Yeah. We're just the little rats in the cage.
We're being studied.
They're being studied.
I'm a fan of blind layouts, so I like with the way the league's going. I think Go Sports is doing a phenomenal job. I think Tom's really, you know what I mean, doing an excellent job.
Bro, they're disgusting.
Don't get Marcelo started.
I know he doesn't. That's why I did it. I like blind
What's your argument? Dude, I can't believe you, someone who talks all this talk about preparation and being dialed in and focus and like how do you like blind layouts? There's nothing to fucking prepare for.
I feel like the preparation is done off the, you know what I mean, off the field.
Dude, guess what? Kobe knew where the basket was going to be. That's why he was so good, because he could go and shoot 1,000 shots from different spots. He could do a move into a shot. He could pretend a defender was here, do a move into a shot. You can't do that if there's no
how much
field.
Sweeter would the NBA be if that thing was just like, where is it?
Bro? So we had a basketball hoop like arcade game in our house in Orlando, and after you got past the first stage, the hoop like moved from side to side.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
You show up and the hoop's like in the corner. Oh my god.
All right.
I get what you're saying, but you can't ever match that pressure. Like, Kobe's practicing in the gym by himself. He doesn't have 100,000, people watching him, and you know what I mean? Because
but that's different preparation. I mean, you can't practice that anyway for blind layouts.
I agree with that.
You have the same issue. Like, just because the layout's blind doesn't mean that all of a sudden you can practice for pressure.
Like, I'm not saying it's better. And I do like layouts.
That's what you said. You said you like blind layouts more.
I like blind layouts. I don't think
it's come correct with a good argument for blind layouts, son.
I don't think it's the best thing for paintball. Definitely not the best thing for paintball. Definitely not.
It hurts local fields too.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Definitely not.
But like, why do you like it? What do you like about it?
I like how it's just like you show up and it's just like, all right, whoever's mind can figure this out faster will do better.
But it's the same. So I agree with you, and my thinking on it got a little bit shifted last year when we were in Texas, and you're watching teams that are seeing a field for their very first time and how they evolve throughout the weekend. So you're watching the entire process. I do think that's really cool. But I also think the story just doesn't get told enough of how that same thing's happening just over 2 weeks. So you're seeing who has a better process, who is more efficient, who knows exactly what to look for, who can predict what kind of things might happen on this field. It's actually way more in depth, the amount of things that you're trying to learn on the layout. It's not just going through the motions and reps. Some teams are, but the teams that are winning are not, And so it's like that process. I think it's one of the coolest stories in sports. All the pro teams get together for about 3 weeks with their teams, and they prepare for this one tournament, and they have this field that they're trying to master in their practices. And then they show up and they have to test their theories against other teams' theories. Like, I think that's badass. I think that's a really cool story. You know, I just don't think we ever did a great job of really explaining or showing that part of it.
That's true. I mean, no, yeah, you're 100% right. Like I said, I just like, I don't know. I like blind layouts. I like it. Tyler, what's your take, man? You're sitting quiet over there. Don't be Switzerland.
No. It's a delicate thing. I think that the 1 week, you know, we're going to see how it rolls out into the 2023 season. I definitely agree that you get a lot of preparation from having multiple weeks on it, and it provides a different product. I think it's somewhere in between there. We're going to see, you know, as we roll into the 1 week for the rest of the year. I don't know if it's 2-3 weeks, a month, you know, but no matter what you do, people are going to complain. So it doesn't really, you know, like.
I also don't love that you bring a lot of guessing into the game when it's a blind layout. It's a lot of guessing.
Yeah.
And I don't like watching sloppy paintball, you know, and you see that in the first day. And it's like, I want to see refined pros come and show what they practiced, you know? That's just me. That's me personally.
Now I can play a blind layout just fine.
Yeah.
Like I pick up things pretty quickly. I can play the blind layout. I could play on it for a month. It's just, you know, once again, the science project, what are we trying to create, you know, like, and that's, you know, something that we're all still learning and figuring out. And it's really cool. Like, we're in the early stages of a magnificent sport, a magnificent game. And we're the front runners of like figuring this thing out and helping to debut the best product we possibly can. And some things are going to work. Some things aren't going to work. We're going to just, you know, keep putting the best foot forward, trying different things out, and, you know, and having fun. No matter how you slice it, we're so lucky we get to run around, play this amazing game, and have timeless memories, and be able to put on an amazing program for people and inspire a lot of people to get outside and play this awesome sport, stay healthy, you know, connect with your community. There's just so many things that we're very blessed to be able to do through paintball, and we're still trying to figure it all out, man. We're still like babies. We're just getting our little like infant shoes on. We're learning how to tie the shoes, you know. we're getting there.
Marcelo, do you know if there's going to be like, are they going to go back on the one layout weekend thing, or is that going to be up for discussion next year?
I mean, I don't know, dude. It was up for discussion this year, and I actually hate that I don't think that they should allow all the teams to vote, you know, because it's kind of like in regular society. Like, I feel like the way this was done, the top 4 or 5 teams are at the mercy of the rest of the league. You know, it should have to be, or I'm sorry, all the teams should be able to vote, but it should be there should be like an overwhelming majority that have to agree on it. It was 11-9 was the, you know, so to change such a big rule in our sport, I feel like it should have to be like 75% of the teams vote that direction, right? Sorry, I misspoke. All the teams should be able to vote, but it shouldn't just be as simple as, you know, the majority, because then the top tier teams, who are really the more experienced teams, the ones that have been doing this the longest, typically, you're at the mercy of every other team. I don't think that's the best way forward, but, you know, who knows? It's kind of like electoral college, you know. Maybe we could have that too. Maybe some team votes are a little more weighted. No, that's not fair, but it should be a majority. It should be like 75% to change a big rule, to change the way the game is played. I think it should be an overwhelming majority.
I think, just sorry, real quick. I think your guys' opinion in Dynasty, like a team like that, or those top level teams, that opinion really matters. Like, and if you really feel this strong about it, it speaks kind of volumes to it, you know, like, cause you're not looking for an advantage over anybody. You're looking out for what's best for the sport. I don't know.
100%. Yeah.
I think it's admirable, you know?
Yeah. 100%. For me, like, that is the first place that my mind goes is, okay, is this better for the sport? I know it's not better for field owners. I've talked to many field owners about what this does to their business, and they all disagree with the move, because a lot of their business models are structured around, you know, the NXL releasing a layout and then having a full park on the tournament side for the 2 weeks leading up, you know? So, you know, that's the first thing that I go to is like, is this better for really like the whole industry? Is it better for competition? Is it better for viewership? Is it better for the story? You know, those are the questions that I'm trying to answer. And in my mind, I make the argument that it's not. But again, like I did say, honestly, in Texas last year, I did kind of get my head around, okay, this is kind of cool. What I voted on this year, and it's funny, actually what we voted on wasn't even the one weekend layout wasn't even an option in what we were going to vote on. And then last minute, like all of a sudden that was part of the discussion. What I actually would think would be really cool is you have 5 events in a season. Do it just like the major and minors. Don't call it minors. They're still majors. They're not at paintball parks. They're still actual NXL events. That's the only thing I didn't like about the minors is that they're at paintball parks. I didn't love that. You know, like if I go to a national event, an NXL, a national event, I want it to be a professionally set up venue. I want to walk around and feel like I'm at a national event. No offense to the paintball parks. That is for the regional events. So 5 majors, but 2 of them could be blind layout. And that story for that event is blind layout. And that's cool. Fantastic. You know, like you can release still some practice layouts. And I think that would have been the happy medium that everyone is looking for. But we didn't go that direction. And, you know, I don't make those decisions, but that was my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yo,
That's
there's
cool.
a ton of people out there that are going to be playing this field layout that we just got done playing and would like to have some insights on how they should approach it. And we're obviously not going to be playing the tournament anymore on that field, so we can kind of break that down for them. What is your like nuts and bolts of this field layout and how to approach it for, you know, maybe some divisional players that are going to be playing on this layout coming up here pretty soon, Pat?
I think I mean, for divisional, it's a little bit different, but from the pro standpoint, I think it was super island ball on the Dorito side, heavy stacked snake way. And then obviously it was super important to get up the field in the middle to either that wedge on the snake side to slow the Doritos down or that brick on the D side that to slow the snake side down. So it's a lot of crossing, but more when you get up the field. Like the snake one has a huge alleyway that cuts off the whole Dorito side inside. Vice versa. The Dorito has it back, right? So vice versa. There's a couple key alleyways like midway in the field that are super important to control. And I feel like you need to get to those spots, and you need to, if you're going to play discipline paintball, it also depends on what type of style you're trying to bring, right? Like if you're going to be aggressive, okay, well, be aggressive on, you know, I would say the snake side. And then counter on the Dorito side. Obviously, you can be aggressive everywhere, but it's got to be kind of calculated, especially with the way that we played the field. We wanted the center first, then we wanted the snake, and then we wanted the Doritos. That's just the way that we played the field. So I think it's huge to obviously play every single, you know, side of the field, but have intent to what you're doing and go out there and don't just, you know what I mean, try to throw something together. Have intent for every move, right?
Mm. Yes.
I love that, dude. 100%. A lot of teams, they will set their game plan just because it looks good. Like, okay, let's get to both these 50s, you know, or on, you know, let's get to the snake 50 and the Dorito 50, or let's go here or go there. They don't have the intention of the flow of the point. All right, we're trying to win down the snake side, right? Or we're trying to win down the Dorito side. So what does that mean? If we're trying to win down the Dorito side and we take a big bite on the Dorito side, what does that mean for your snake players? You can't be the first to die. Yeah, you know, fact. Because if you're the first to die and now the other team gets into the snake and comes and shoots all your Dorito players in the back, you don't even get to see if your game plan worked. It messes up the whole playbook. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you have to understand the flow, because in that point, you're probably going to play a whole lot less aggressive than you're supposed to in another play where we're trying to attack down the snake side, you know? And so you really need to understand the entirety of the plays. This is what I preach to the teams that I coach and players that we work with. I know Tyler does too. You have to understand the entirety of the play, the intention of the play. It's not just let's get to these spots. It's what's our goal within this point? Are we trying to attack through the center? Pat, I love exactly what you said. It actually resonated perfectly with me because watching you guys, that's exactly what you guys did. And I think it was the smartest way to play the field. Get middle ground quick, because the middle was so dominant that you could keep the other team out of the tapes. You could keep the other team out of the middle, right? Mm-hmm. So you establish that like great cross, really powerful. It forces guns kind of inward to focus on you. Then it's pretty easy to get into the snake. Now, once you get deep into the snake, it really shifts guns. And then getting down the Dorito side, which was the harder side to attack, becomes a cakewalk. And now all of a sudden you have a team that's in pretty much all the 50s. You're in all the good spots, and you're able to put a lot of pressure on the opponents, right? That is understanding game flow and really high level. So, you guys definitely figured that out and did it very well. But that's what you players, all the players listening to this, coaches, whatever it may be, you need to be building your game plans like that with intention. Okay, we want to punch them through the middle on this one, or we want to go slow on the snake side, fast down the Dorito side. Like there has to be, more than just the X's and O's. You'll have a lot more success. Truly, the players will play better because they know what you want from them.
I also thought this was something that I thought about after the event is something that we could have done and like been more dynamic with. We obviously, when you guys played us, like people were trying to shut me down getting to the center brick. So like at that point, when it's that obvious and clear what the other team should do, I think what we should have done is pulled me back and kind of played with 6 guys, right? Because you guys are always going to be shooting at that guy.
But you can have 6 now?
Yeah, you can have 6, baby. You know what I'm saying? it's that like, I don't know. I just feel like that was what we should have done. I feel like you guys were always looking for me there. I could have played a whole different role and you guys would have been looking for that. I don't know. That's just how I felt.
Yeah.
About that.
You could look at that 2 ways, right? Honestly, I wouldn't criticize what you guys did too much. I mean, you guys had every chance to beat us, right? Again, we went to overtime. You shoot Ryan and Archie off the break. And, it's one of those things where like, I wouldn't look too far into how you guys could have changed things that game. Maybe communication. Cool. Like that's something
100%
to build off of, but like you being in that spot all weekend is what made you guys so powerful. So yeah, like pull yourself out of it. Who knows? Maybe you then don't get the results and maybe we win 3-0, maybe the match is just a lot easier not having you up in that spot. Sometimes you got to say, hey, they know I'm going there, but can they stop me? Like it's been working. So I'm just going to do it so good that it doesn't matter. That's when,
and you made it,
totally.
You were getting up there.
They were, that's what my coach said. He was like, you want to keep going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make them stop me. Cause if they can't stop me, then I had to find out different routes to get there. Like I had so many routes to get there, bro. I had like 4 routes and I didn't even use 2 of them that I should have used. So it's kind of stupid. But if I get stopped at that wedge, like I'd go to that wedge right off the break, right? And if I got stopped at that wedge, I would immediately look heads up to see if the can was on me. And if he wasn't, I knew the back center was. So I'd throw the bounce shot, put him in, go around the outside. And nobody could see me sneak in there. So if the back center hides, nobody sees me sneak in there. And now I'm in there again. And nobody knows. Yes. There was just like so much cool stuff you could do to get up that center. I was taking it like, honestly, shout out to Corey Hall. That man played that can behind me so well and made it seamless for me to get up that field. Like we had a couple, couple little specialty plays. We're running like spot shooting people that actually helped me get into the spots. So like for real, shout out to him because he was shooting a lot of people off the break or at least making them duck. So it made my job a lot easier getting up there.
100%.
Yeah. And then like Marcella said, applying that pressure once you're up there and you have the collective up there, really connecting and knowing where to apply that pressure to. Obviously the Dorito side can is really susceptible to getting eliminated. Yeah. Yep. So working that, like let the teams out there know if you're playing this layout, work on that player first, like scream across the field if you have to, a code that means, yo, everybody shoot at this can, and make them really uncomfortable. And then the bounce shots on this field were huge. There was from the D side shooting the Dorito can. If you're in the Doritos and you shoot the Dorito can of your opponent, it goes right into the back middle. That was a really big one. There was some great ones from the snake side towers and the first like snake of the diamond that if you shoot off Doritos or off of the Dorito side wedge, it would go into the Doritos.
The 200. If you shot the tower, going to the 300. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so if you shoot
Pat,
that wedge,
people don't know what the 2 and 300 are. Brother.
Dorito
Unless
2,
you want
Dorito 3. My bad. Sorry. New York
so
target,
if you shoot off the off that D tower that's at like the 40-yard line, if you're on the snake side, you hit that D tower, it goes into the Doritos there. Same thing with that wedge at like the 30-yard line, that big, huge wedge bunker. If you're on the snake side and you shoot the edge of that wedge, it goes into those Doritos there. And then vice versa. There was some from the Dorito side where if you shoot off the temple on the snake side, the short temple or the bricks, they go into the snake one there. There's just a lot of really intricate bounce shots on this field, and they're everywhere on any field. as Marcelo knows better than anybody. He's the bounce shot god, and he finds them all. So he knows that there's bounce shots everywhere, and you have to be looking for all of these intricate bounce shots.
Yeah, no, he made me get out of the back center a bunch of the times. A bunch of the times in that match, I was
Dude.
like, yo, they're throwing the bounce shot. I was like, I got to get out of here. I was like, and Canyon would legitimately back up. I go underneath him and inside. I was like, dude, I'm not dealing with that bounce shot. But you guys played the most heads up paintball that we like faced, which is really cool because a lot of teams weren't playing heads up. And I feel like the bounce shots kind of feed into that kind of heads up paintball, especially on
Are you talking to me?
I feel like you guys played heads up. You definitely
Dude, I was begging in all the practices, please, can I just go in here heads up? And our guys were so worried about the other team crossing from the wedge to the 50 brick. And I'm like, look, I don't care if they're there, and you guys shouldn't either if we just know, like, the biggest threat is me filling out if we don't know that brick is there, right? That's like the biggest threat is they would go in there and like look cross, cut the Dorito side down. I'm like, but if I go in on the cross, they don't go, which they didn't go majority of the time. I shot one person all weekend making that fill, and it was rainy in the finals. He's the only person that went the whole weekend, literally the whole weekend. And so I would go there, look inside, and then try to go heads up. And if other teams were heads up, now I'm at a huge disadvantage. And often, and this is why I really liked what you guys were doing, because you would have two people heads up. You would be in the wedge and the can, or already in that, in the 50 brick. And then it's like, okay, well, now we're never getting out over on this side. So I felt really good about going in there heads up, winning that gun battle quickly, with your mirror, doing the bounce shot on the back center, and then immediately getting out to the corner.
100%.
And then like, okay, cool. Now maybe they did slide into that 50 brick over there, but that's an easy trade. We can go work that body out. And now we're wide on the Dorito side, which once you got wide on that Dorito side, you had a big advantage on against the other team. At least that's how I felt. So yeah, sometimes I'd even kind of go rogue, and I was like, yeah, I'll go in on the cross, and I'll just go in heads up. I'm like, this is what we need to do, is what we need to do.
Well, that's
you're right. Yeah. Go ahead, PK.
That's what we were doing on that side. Like Corey would go in off the break, shoot at the people until I got into the spot, and then he'd immediately turn heads up, because then I take over that avenue and we don't have to worry about it again. So everyone was, because honestly, the can's the only position that saw that avenue into the 50 brick on the snake side. So, but they could go to the corner and they could go around and you'd be blind anyway. So it was smart.
That was exactly my thinking. I'm like, I can only see them if they go this route, but if they go past it, I can't see it anyway. So people can still get there. It's like,
and if you're rolled inside watching the inside route and they get into the 50 and wrap on you, it's curtains anyway. So that's why we would go up to that big brick and just control that avenue, and then Corey could play paintball. So
yeah, that's why I truly felt like you guys played the field the best. I said it throughout the weekend too. You guys were beating teams, and I was like, they're playing the field well. Like, this is a good game plan. It's having two on that Dorito side. It was so dominant, because a lot of teams would have one, and being able to play that heads up and go there and play heads up. Yeah. I mean, I just, I really enjoyed watching it,
No, it's huge.
Yeah, it was a fun field. And obviously there were kind of low scoring points, but there was a lot of processing going on, and still a lot of high IQ moves going on, and really good paintball being played. I guess the last thing before we move on from the layout is just that if you get to the snake one, like you kind of mentioned, PK, which is like that first knuckle of the diamond on the snake side, you have that, the wedge. You have that huge channel to watch the inside and help your players have awareness of what's going on the Dorito side, also cut down the Dorito side, and then vice versa. If you get to the Dorito 3, I guess it would be not the small one, but the second large one, you have a huge channel as well to watch the inside cuts. You can really slow down that side of the field. So look to implement those into your gameplay. I know there's a lot of people who have been hitting me up and asking me, I'm going to be playing the same exact layout that you're playing. So definitely wanted to, pick your brain a little bit on how we can help those people out who are going to play those events. So we appreciate you for that, PK.
Yeah, actually, one last tidbit, because we were just talking about it, it's actually super crucial, and I figured it out on like Saturday night, Sunday. If you get in like that Dorito 2 that you were talking about, that second big Dorito, that gap that we were talking about, me and Marcelo, that one into the 50 snake brick, that is actually the best zone to watch that, because they have to leave their spot to get to it, and you can actually see the snake too, so you're not blind to anyone coming from the corner. that was actually the best spot to watch that
For
avenue.
sure.
Yeah.
There we go. We got the details here. And then I do want to hop into the PTG World Discord chat. Thank you, everybody, for being in there and for tapping in on the questions for PK here. We got Elam BZ. Shout out to the Elam BZ one time. As a recent Capital Region transplant, it was great to see the local team doing so well. Congrats on the 4th place at the event. Is this a taste of what we are going to see from NYX this year? And what do you think led to this showing? And I know we kind of hit on it, but just kind of hammer it home there.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is the start of our true progression, right? Like I said, we don't have any excuses anymore. There's no more deterrence unless, we get in our own way. So we just literally have to stay humble and just keep doing what we're doing. Cause I'm telling you right now, we're out working people. And I don't just mean in the weight room. I mean, like film study as a team, we're working hard and we're focused on what we think that we can, we know we can achieve it now, and we're focused and we're going to go get it. And if it's not next event, it's not the next event. We're going to grind all year, and, I think you're going to see us on top pretty soon.
Love that, dude. We'll keep crushing, man.
Love that.
We love the squad. Shout out to the East Coast paintball scene as a whole too, because it's booming out there, man. East Coast paintball is thriving.
Yeah, man.
All right.
No, what's up?
Sorry, Pat. Yeah, no, we just got some good questions, but if you had something.
No. I was going to say shout out to my man, Elanzi.
Yeah.
Nice. We got one of the OG GOATs, Alex Harlington, and you did kind of talk about this, but the way he frames the question might lead to a little bit different of a response. So, Pat, the team had a great showing at Sunshine State. Congratulations on a great start to the 23 season. What is something you do to prepare for an event that is underrated or unconventional? So maybe something you didn't talk about. What kind of weird superstitions you got?
I have some weird rituals, man. Like
you secretly dance in New Balances before you get in the shower?
Only in yours, and I leave your hotel and I go to mine. I'm super ritualistic with it, like getting a haircut, man. Like if I don't look good, I feel like I'm not gonna play good. So I literally I'll get a haircut. I was in Florida. I stayed the week because some travel issues. I even got my haircut down there by some random barber, but he was lights out. So look good, feel good, play good. You know what I'm saying? New York.
Yep. Nice. I like that. Yeah, you guys always do look fresh with the cut.
Dude, I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you.
You got it.
A nice
bro.
cut is a boost.
I'm over here growing mine out.
Yeah, he is. He's about to be looking like Tarzan here in a minute.
My hair was way longer than that during the winter.
We're working.
What do we got? Going full Tarzan?
Woof. You gonna go mullet on us? You do mullet
He's got
on
the
us?
mullet flowing. No, is there a mullet?
It's coming.
Are you gonna let it grow down the back or what?
Oh yeah, it's growing. It's growing down the back. Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
We got
it's
action.
coming, baby.
Let's
He's
go.
ready.
Party in the back, baby.
All right, paintball entertainment. How has the team adjusted or changed since Harris left? What would you say the strong performance at the first event is, or would you say that the strong performance is evidence of that change, or simply the team continuing to mature?
I think it is, and I hate to say it, but I think it is. I think it's strong evidence that, one bad apple can spoil a whole bunch, and listen, there's a lot of contributing factors, but all of us are taking it upon ourselves now to be good teammates to each other and really fight for the guy next to him. You know what I mean? Like it sounds cliche, but we really are. Like we're getting to know each other. We're trying to, and we're just trying to put our best foot forward. And that's kind of what I would say is the pivotal point of our recent success, is that we're all just buying in and being the best team we can be for each other. Like no matter what happens, like when Corey lost that 1-on-1, like we picked him up, like where the old NYX, we wouldn't talk shit to each other, but we wouldn't have been that I don't know. It's the vibe's just different, man. And you can feel it. And I'm talking Danny Schonauer's mom was in the pit and she said something to me about the vibe. The Heat grandma came up to me and was like, yo, the vibe's just different without Harris, And it's just man, if you can tell that from the outside, and being on the team, you can feel it. So.
Wowza. Ba-boom, the bomb. All right. This is a great question from one of the GOATs, Old Baller 85. Pat, Great 2023 debut, my friend. Dude, people love you right now.
Let's go, PK.
PK is the man right now. Loved watching you. Question. My 14-year-old son, Handon, is playing his first tournament this weekend, and he's feeling a lot of pressure to win. Any advice for him?
Yeah, man. Just go out and, you know what I mean? It sounds dumb, but go out and have fun. And don't let the moment get the best of you. It sounds like he's younger. He's going to have a great career, a long career ahead of him, hopefully. But just go out there and have fun, man. And just try your best. And like we all say, like, it's not losing, right? If you learn, right, then you just keep snowballing. You gain that momentum, and then you just keep getting better and better and better. So just focus on the the small things that you can do better after the event, win or lose. Even if you win, you still gotta get better, because it's harder to stay on top. So no matter what the outcome, the regimen is the same. Just keep working hard, and if you love it, just keep getting after it.
Yeah, man.
I love that. But I actually hate the expression that it's not losing if you learn. It's absolutely still losing, but it doesn't mean that's a bad thing, right? It's okay to
Correct.
lose. That's the thing. It's okay to lose as long as you learn from it.
All
it's
the
still
best.
losing.
Yeah, all the best learn.
Yosh, and shout out to Yosh. Absolutely love Yosh Rao. He's been a huge mentor of mine and somebody that I look up to and learn from on the daily. But his damn email signature, if you've ever gotten an email from Yosh, it says never lose, always learn, or something like that. Something like along those lines. And I'm like, bro, but it is losing. It's losing. It's you either win or you lose.
100%.
And then you can learn from losing, but it's still losing. You still lost.
You're not wrong.
Definitely not wrong.
I
was trying to be motivational.
I'm a
poor kid, dude.
No, that's the point, though, is that it's actually you just have the wrong perspective on losing. Losing isn't a bad thing. Losing is okay. Yeah. We need to accept losing. Accepting is good for you at many times, you know? Yeah, I actually I signed one of our third place medal from Chicago and sent it to one of the GOATs. And in there, I wrote these are the ones that teach you the most. These are the most valuable ones, the ones where you lose. So, you know, it's kind of just shifting your thinking as an athlete on losing. And it actually, in doing that, will allow you to be okay with it and understand that the moment isn't too big. It's fine to lose. It's okay, because there's a lot of lessons that are going to be had. You get to learn from them and come back better. And it gives you direction moving forward in your preparation for the next time that you're going to be tested. And you might lose again, and then you might lose again, and then you might lose 5 more times. But then you're finally, eventually, if you keep working, it's going to click and it's going to hit, and you're going to get that win. And it is so damn nice. It feels so good and earned because you did lose and you understand what losing is, you know?
And I honestly think that that's why we lost this event. Like, I really do. I feel like it's a momentum swing for us. Like, it's kind of a gut check, but it's also it's gonna see what we're really made of. If we would have came in this event and just outworked the teams with the new one layout system, and we took the event, I don't feel like we'd walk around with our heads, we couldn't fit through the door, and we wouldn't get back to the grindstone like we have. And I feel like that moment that we went through, like, I mean, Marcel bunkered all 3 of us, and we just weren't talking to each other, and we didn't communicate. Like, I can tell you right now, like, I got chills right now. I'm never gonna let that happen again. Like, I may get bunkered, right? But I'm at least going to talk about it, and I'm going to make sure somebody's on my job, and I'm going to pass that ball around, because I'm not – the way that we lost is just – it's just – and like you said, these are the most, crucial ones. It's so true, man. It's – yeah.
Yep. It's a growing process, dude. It's a growing process.
And
dude, you let me bunker more people in 1 point than I have in 3 years.
Joe, so hold on, Marcel, you're a smart guy. Tyler, you're a smart guy. In that point, obviously, I don't know if you know the variables, Tyler, but Marcel, I'm sure you do. Obviously, I have to protect Chris. Will, in my opinion, should have went to the snake side brick and put inside pressure on that alleyway to kind of play 2-on-2, because you guys were swinging that side. And then I think Jerry comes up the field and plays 1-on-1 against Blake.
So I think Jerry should have made the first move out of that corner and been in the tape. So where Blake was in that tower, he was playing heads up to where Will couldn't. Will would have had to put him in. Will could have. He could have tried to bully Blake in and make that move. But he's doing exactly that. He's bullying Blake. And I actually got to the Dorito, and I was like wrapped on Will, and I saw his pack. And so it kind of put him in a bad situation because there was that crack under the bunker as well.
Yeah, underneath.
So like I wrapped and started shooting and pounding and like thought I shot him. And that's why Rich is even saying on the webcast, he's like, it looks kind of lazy what Will's doing because he was like laying down, but it's because I almost shot him, from that Dorito. So like I was able to put him down. So he was dealing with me and dealing with Blake heads up, Blake in that tower, kind of making sure that he doesn't cross that gap where the corner is blocked out from Blake. So Jerry, in my opinion, had the move. He could have went all the way to the 50, wrapped on Blake, game over. If he would have went just straight from that 50 all the way up.
But someone's got to watch over me. Otherwise, you make that same move and you get two of us.
Well, it's about who makes the move first, right? So there was kind of a lot going on before that move was made to where if Jerry would have just launched and gone into the 50,
it would have drawn everything. Yeah,
totally. But what would have happened though is if Jerry were to go make that move, then Will could have looked over you, right? And so maybe I bunker you, but Will shoots me. It's a 2-on-2 now. Chris owns the Dorito side, but Jerry gets into the 50, shoots Blake. Maybe now it's a 2-on-1, with you guys. Again, like that's one of those things that you can't dissect too far because, it's just, you could look at it so many different ways of how it could have worked or not worked. Right. But I think on your guys' side of things, Jerry had the move. If Jerry gets into the 50 snake, because there was no one in position to really see him, there was no one in position to stop that move. Chris could kind of see it, but he had to deal with you. Yeah. I couldn't see it. I wasn't shooting it. And where Blake was in the tower, he can't see it. So Jerry had the move to get in the 50 snake first, apply pressure on Blake. If he applies that pressure on Blake, now Will easily makes that move across to look over you. Yeah. And it's curtains. Right. But it all happened fast, dude. It's really hard. Like those things have to, it's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah. To put that together. Yeah, exactly. The players already have to have that like programmed and set. This is what I'm going to do. And then like facilitate it. There just has to be the facilitation of moves. And honestly, Dynasty facilitated obviously the moves more efficiently. Yeah. They were able to kind of get into the right position. And obviously, Marcelo made a spectacular move, cut the seam, and was able to have one of the best moves, arguably in quite some time. I mean, that homage to Olang and stuff, it really is like one of those kind of moves. It's like it's a big move. It was a really big move in a big moment to go to the finals. And that's the kind of stuff that, you kind of can't even teach. And I think that's kind of what he's trying to say. March is like, it's just, and like you were saying, PK, it's like the 10,000th time that he's seen it. You know what I mean? And it just goes that way.
I will say this too. There was, something I talked about this on the previous show, I believe, but something that I'm really trying to work on, parts of my game that are lacking are trusting myself. There's been so many times where I see something and I feel like I know that this move could be there, but then this little voice in my head says, but what if this guy's looking this way? Mm-hmm. Right. And so I don't make the move and then we don't win. And I go back and I watch a film and I'm like, the move was there, like you're right. So just stop second guessing it. In that moment, I remember like seeing what I thought I knew. And then I got valuable information and I just said, fuck it. I actually didn't care if it worked or didn't work. Like if it worked, fantastic. If it didn't, good for NYX. You guys go on and maybe win the tournament and we'll come back and there's always going to be more tournaments. We're going to have another chance at the next event, and it's like kind of relieving that pressure of the moment being too big or feeling like this is the last tournament you're going to play. It's so interesting because it's so contradictory to what got me to where I am today, which was this like hard-nosed, play every tournament like it's your last, every moment like it's your last, every point like it's your last, all in, be really hard on yourself when you mess up. That got me to where I am through discipline, through, all the way from being a young kid in Taekwondo. Like it's just playing for Mike Hinman. Like that reward loop is strong in me, and so it's how I've been, but I think it also hinders you as well. And we talked about earlier, sometimes you got to know when it's time to move on from something when we were referring to like the Harris situation and antics and things like that. Well, I had a similar kind of thing that I've been going through. And it's like, okay, I've gotten this far, but how can I, make these moves that I see all the time, but then I second guess it, or I say, well, I want to be alive for the team, or I think I'm better off if I stay here and close. And, And then I go back and watch and I'm like, that was the move. And actually we lost the point when we should have won the point. Part of it is just not being as hard on myself. And literally that was my mentality. I don't know if that's a great thing or not, but it was like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, cool, whatever, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to get on my flight tomorrow, go home and, you know, get back to work, you know, like obviously I'm not thinking about all that during the point, but like, that was my kind of sentiment the whole day, you know? So it's interesting because, you know, you need some of that like pressure on yourself and those feelings, but you also need to know when to just kind of let it go.
And that's as of recently. Marcelo 10 years ago, no chance. You know what I'm saying? Like you were the heart, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. 10 years ago, I was playing the 1 and it was a different role. When I was playing the 1, I was okay with being aggressive, and those moves are made. It was more when I moved into a 2 and 3 role, and I feel like my job is to close. That's where I really have tried to take on much more of the survivability role. So, you know, within that role, my game changed and turned into something completely different, right? But again, it's like the pendulum swings too far in one direction. You've got to realize, okay, let's bring it back here. You know, it's got to be in this spot. And it's also, I mean, it's one event. I'm not on no high horse. Like we have a long season ahead. We got a lot of great paintball left to play. You know, I'm in the gym every day as well. You know, I feel like that event is long over. You know, who cares? On to the next. At the end of the season, there could be a totally different story of different teams and superstars and superheroes, and everything could be forgotten. So you have to finish the season strong and continue to work. And, you know, Pat, you mentioned it. Ty, I know, same for you. It's about loving the process. Like that moment was cool. It's special. It feels good, but it's not what I love. Actually, what I love is all the work leading up to that stuff. I love coming home and being like, okay, all right, so we have a good foundation now. Here's what we need to work on to get better for the next event. Here's what I could do better for the next event. Want to watch a little bit of this on film. Okay, there were some mistakes here. Physically, I didn't feel so good in this position. Physically, I felt great in that position. So keep doing what made me feel great over there. And let's try to fix what made me a little uncomfortable in this spot. There's a few mobility things and flexibility things that I know I want to work on. There's like all these little things that I have going into Texas. You know, there was a lot of dietary things going into this event that worked, and that I'm like, okay, that is for sure going into this next event. You know, there's a lot of little like biohacks, if you will, that seem to make me feel good. You know, look good, feel good, play good. I shorten that up. Honestly, if you feel good, you play good. So whatever it takes to feel good. And, you know, all these little things to make me feel good, feel better. That's what I'm really focused on right now, is just feeling good. And I think that makes probably the biggest difference, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta send it out there. You gotta be feeling good. All right. And shout out to Handon for your first tournament.
Marcelo.
What's that, PK?
I like that, Marcelo. Look,
Yeah.
feel good. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Handon, go crush it out there. It's your first tournament, so I know there's going to be like a lot of butterflies in your stomach.
Yeah, buddy.
Just remember, if nobody's shooting at you, make a head check and take the next move. Go get it.
All right, baby.
Absolutely.
Make moves, baby. Make plays.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Get out
Have
there and
fun.
connect. Have fun. Yeah. Connect. Let your teammates know what's in front of you. You know, ask some good questions. What do you got over there? You know, asking a good question is always a good thing. But most importantly, have fun out there, Handon. And PTG, we're all rooting for you, bud. Go get it.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
We got
Hell yeah.
Cyrus. He's wondering if you had to pick a team to play for and it couldn't be New York Xtreme, what would be your pick and why?
Oh, this is a tough one. Is this Cyrus?
Cyrus the Virus. Yeah.
Man. Wow.
Shout out to Con Air one time.
That's really tough. Wow, one team? Damn.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
Wow. Wow, it would actually be for one of your teams I'm trying to pick right now. I think my heart. Now this is where it goes, actually. San Diego Dynasty.
All right.
My man.
When I was
Sign him. Sign him.
When I was in 7th grade, I'm gonna let this out. When I was in 7th grade, or no, 8th grade. 8th grade. I was in my basement, bro, painting my pods like sparkly blue, bro. And I wanted to be just like Dynasty. I had all the Reds gear all blued out, bro. I was like diving in my backyard. Like,
here we go.
It was what it is what it was, man. I was walking
I'm
around
just
Barnes
fucking
and
with you, dude.
Nobles. I saw
We
the
all were there
magazine.
at some point.
Yeah.
I think, like it's just one of those bloodlines that has and will always be in the just a top tier team in the organization of paintball, and they have facilitated so many players to come in and be great. They really have. And you can't argue with that. It's just facts, and dude, it's endearing actually, because
Pick
go
them
ahead.
up.
Get him. There you go. All right, you better let your team know. Is this it? You're letting them know?
I know. My heart's in New York, baby. My heart's in New York, baby.
Just wait till you get those New Balances. They're coming straight from the Team Dynasty store.
Oh boy,
We have a little Dynasty logo.
Stir that pot. See, Marcelo's in the kitchen too, huh?
I'm Italian, baby. I'm always in the kitchen cooking over here.
That's all right, bro. Yeah.
Nothing but good times, man, and nothing but love for paintball, dude. It's all
brother.
love for paintball. I'll just keep screaming it from the mountaintops. We're the luckiest people ever to play this game, straight up.
For real.
Yeah, it's the best.
Hell yeah.
That's
Ty,
a
I
good
think that's
question,
it. 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's it for questions. I think we got just about all of them. The only ones we didn't answer, we already, talked about heavily.
Yep. We delve into those.
Pat, brother, you're the man, dude. Thank you for joining us again. It's always a pleasure hearing you talk. You speak very well and you give great insight. Love your responses. Professional. I feel like I'm listening to an ESPN interview half the time, which is nice.
Shout out to the boys. Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks for being the pioneers to this. This kind of legwork for the industry and for paintball, and just it gives all of us, people that are trying to get to the top, something to work for, and it's cool to be in this moment with you guys, and I look forward to some more. For sure.
Dude,
awesome, brother.
Meet us in the moment, PK. It's all about the moment. We're grateful for you, dude. We're grateful for all that you're doing in the game. That's what it's all about. It takes all of us, you know what I mean? Every single one of us boosting this game and making it fun, entertaining, and taking it to the highest level that we possibly can. Before you go, I need to know your jersey number and significance, because I like to ask the guests about their jersey number and significance. Does yours have any?
Yeah. So I'm a junior. That's why it's always on the back of my jersey. I like to let everybody know I'm my own person, but my number is from my dad. Because without that man, dude, in paintball, like I've told it. I think the first time I was on, I told the story about just like how much he used to sacrifice for me and stuff. And it's just I wouldn't be close to the human or the man that I am without him today. So I always rep him. He's always with me. He's still with me. He's still with me. Yeah, and it's just nice to have him with me at all times. So my number's for my dad, number 5.
Yeah,
hell yeah, brother.
That's a power number. Yeah, I love that too. That's Short's number. Brandon Short. Shout out to Short.
Shorty.
Yeah, he's the dog. Hey man, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you, PTG World, for tuning in. We will see you guys soon for episode number 184. And ladies, let's go.
PK, I'll see you in the kitchen.
Hey, whip it.
Hey.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, everybody. As always, if you guys would like to support the show, please head over to ptgpaintball.com. Click the Patreon link. It's a little orange tab in the top corner, and become a supporter. Sign up at any level and get access to the Discord. If you do that, you will not regret it. Getting access to the Discord opens your world up to a whole new community. We have the best community in paintball. It's fantastic. You could ask questions to get on the show, but I must warn you, if you're going to sign up, you want to be a GOAT. Sign up at the GOAT tier. You get all sorts of exclusive access to different channels, exclusive access to the once-a-month meeting, tons of giveaways, all sorts of perks. Definitely don't want to miss it. GOATs are the best. GOATs are the greatest of all time. It's in the name. You can't deny it. GOATs are the coolest. So we really appreciate you guys, all the GOATs, the whole community, all the non-GOATs as well. You guys are fantastic. Thank you guys so much. We love and appreciate the support. Can't thank you enough for being with us on this journey. And as always, everybody, we will see you very soon.